Hello, hi guys, welcome back to the Football Showdown channel. Today we are back with another stream being consistent, but this time something different. It is completely European heritage. Yeah, you can deny for the fact that Arsenal have not won anything when it became the Champions League, but Arsenal do have enough pedigree in the European big stages where they have done well, denied in spite of lot of refereeing issues and all of that. But we're not here to discuss regarding the past. We're here to talk about the present. I'm in a new attire. Um, like the famous saying that Carragher has said, leave the football before the football leaves you. Well, as a man in his early 20s, mid 20s, whatever, you start to lose hair. And I thought, you know what, it is best to go like that. Right. So here I am. Anyways, to help make the stream much better than what it is from here, I just brought in my friends who've been part of this channel from the start, like when things were like just in the initial phase of things, just having fun with bunch of friends and all of that. I just thought it would be nice to bring them all and some of the friends I made along the way as well. So yeah, let me just introduce them quickly. We have Vignesh. He is a Bayern fan. Hey Vignesh.
Hey Suchit,
Uh,
glad to
we
be
have
here.
James. Yeah, we have
Hi,
James.
man.
Or I think out of respect, you should call him Dr. James. He's finally a doctor as well. He is a Liverpool fan. Let's not go there, but yeah, he is a Liverpool fan. Uh, Next, we have Vardhan, a
Hello.
Man City fan who's a very enthusiastic Inter Milan fan as well. We have Rahul, who's been part of the teams as well. He is a UF fan who supports Madrid, so he'll bring in perspectives regarding both the teams. And making his debut on the channel, Ainsley. Hey, Ainsley, a Barca fan.
Hi.
Yeah. How are you guys? How are things going on right now?
All good, all good.
Good.
All good, all good.
Great, great.
Ah, yeah. I know as a Barca fan, you do have the Real Sociedad game going on, so do let us know how the things are going on from that end. And as Indian fans, the India versus New Zealand or the New Zealand versus India game is going on as well. So um, let's just hope things go well on that front because we do not want to face Australia, or some say we do want to face Australia, but that's a different conversation altogether. We are here for the Champions League uh, situation. Whatever it is, as an Arsenal fan, it's never interesting. But you know what? We'll talk. Uh, we'll just find the right spot and we'll start talking about the current fixtures, right? What do you guys think about the entire draw? Like, do you guys think you, as your own thing, your team has gotten favorable fixtures, or do you guys think it's still hard and you might have to face difficulties as we go? So yeah, we start with Vardhan. I know you're a Man City fan, but do talk us regarding Man City, like them losing to Madrid, and you can talk about Inter as well.
Uh, well, just reflection upon the whole season, really. I mean, I think whatever happened in Madrid was a very accurate reflection of our whole season.
Mm-hmm.
We've looked very lethargic at times. And now lethargy works in two ways. You're either lazy in general,
Mm-hmm.
or you just don't have the legs to do anything. And I guess the second one applies more to us because if you look at our midfield, it's horrible. Like I know we got Nico Gonzalez, and it's hard to blame him for whatever happened in the second leg in Madrid. He's only new, and he was nowhere nearly our worst player.
Mm-hmm.
We still employ Silky Ilky, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and I think all of them are on their last legs. To be honest with you, I guess as City fans, the biggest thing that confuses me is whilst everyone expected this drop off, I just didn't think all our veteran players would drop off at the exact same time in the exact same season. And I don't think the board thought that as well, which is why we didn't go out spending on new midfielders at least, or anyone really. We spent nothing last summer. We only bought Savinho and Gundogan on return. So I would say I would say go as far as saying I don't think Madrid are good. I think teams like Madrid are built to kill City like teams this year because we just don't have the legs to cross cover ground. So that exactly that kind of team is the team that hurts us. I would argue Liverpool's the same. I think Liverpool stopped attacking after they realized that we're not going to beat them anyway. So the score line looked much. It should have been more than 2-0. But then just saying off the top of my head, I think a better midfield and a better defense would give Madrid a lot more troubles, but we just couldn't do it. We couldn't cope with Mbappe's pace, and for a change, he was onside on most of his goals. Um, but it's not hard to be when you can start 5 steps back because our centre backs have no pace. So even if you start 5 steps behind Stones or Diaz, you can outpace them. Simply spoken. But if someone quicker, you won't. I thought Vinicius was absolutely shit against Kusanov on the right on the left wing. I didn't think he did anything of he didn't much importance in the first leg. He didn't do anything of much. So he was crying his heart out. I will say that. Um, I will say again, Rory deserved his Ballon d'Or. And if this isn't the definition of why he deserved it, then I don't know what is. Because this team fell off the moment he got injured, thanks to Arsenal. Um, but it's a joke. It's a joke. I know he didn't do anything. He just whatever. But yeah, coming back to the Champions League stuff, I didn't expect it to be that bad, but I do feel like even if we were to beat Madrid, we would have not made it far. So, in the grand scheme of things, it might have been a good thing because we keep getting repetitive injuries. Yesterday, Nathan Ake went off injured again. Stones, Ake, usual culprits, can't stay healthy. Don't know what's gonna happen. But it's good for us because now we have weekly gaps in between games, so maybe we get a bit of more time to recover and at least focus on that top five now because Italian teams have absolutely sold in the Champions League this year, bar Inter. So that's from a City perspective. I think from an Inter perspective, they qualified within the top eight, so they didn't have any games in this time. So there's not much to speak about. But I guess the only thing I will say in terms of Inter's regard, they're the exact kind of team that a lot of these teams with good fast attacks are going to struggle against. Now, you would often think Inter only beat some of the worst teams in the Champions League by 1-0, 2-0. That's what they do. That's what they do. You score one goal and go back to your tactics and just make sure the other teams keeps trying, but they never find a way to score. Simple. And and that's what Arsenal was doing for the longest time. Score a goal, sit back, you get well. That's the thing. You can't score a
See,
goal like Inter.
uh,
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 so, but you get where I'm coming from, right? If you have stability,
yeah,
and you would argue, why does Pep not just move to a five back? I will say about five backs, as annoying as they are, they require a lot of concentration from your center backs to be playing. And given our defense, we can't even do that. So five, it's not easy for anyone to just pull up and say, "Oh, let's play five center backs and we'll do a good job." Teams like Inter do a good job because they've been doing it for a while. Teams like Atletico do a good job because they've been doing it for a while. Uh, so yeah, just in terms of Inter again, who they playing again? Is it Feyenoord that they're up against now? I don't see them struggling against Feyenoord, to be honest with you. I would, yeah. Oh yeah, okay, you've pulled it up now. So it is indeed Feyenoord. Yeah, and does that also mean they would face Bayern or Leverkusen moving forward?
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, see, the next one's gonna be tricky. I mean, I'm not gonna say Leverkusen will beat Bayern. I just don't know about Bayern. You don't know what to expect with Bayern. So
right,
I think
right.
let's just focus on this round. I think Inter makes it through comfortably, and I see them beating Feyenoord over both legs. And I know they just drew to Napoli in a very important game, but
Mm,
Napoli, I think, went bollocks the
mm,
next game and they dropped points. So Inter's back on top anyway. So I think
mm,
on a league
mm,
perspective, they're doing okay.
mm,
And the main people to watch out are definitely Barella, Bastoni, and Thuram.
mm.
Something
And
about
Lothar.
Thuram is just scary. I just
Mm,
don't understand what it is. He's
mm,
so powerful and
mm,
so quick. He beats all centre backs and just makes runs past them. And Inter seems like the kind of team that can
mm.
take players who are approaching retirement and turn them world class one last time before they actually retire. Akan Chalalonglu, for example. Who in the world thought Chalalonglu would be an important player? But yet here he is. He's there. They made Mkhitaryan look class for a long time. Um, who else? Their fullbacks are actually really good as well. So I mean, Damian plays right back as any for them, but Dimarco is a sensational left back. So I'd argue almost saying he's one of the best left backs in the world right now, from an attacking perspective more so than defensive. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy Inter's through. I will root for them but there are a few other teams on there which I really don't mind winning, and some of them are actually generally fun to watch. But I absolutely do not want Real Madrid to win another Champions League. That's it.
Fair
Um,
enough, fair enough.
but
Rahul, just like along these lines, right? You are a UA fan, a very avid UA fan, who was kind of disappointed for the fact that the other Italian teams have not done well, and that could cost right now fifth spot place for any Italian team for the upcoming Champions League, right? So, how do you see this? Like, what do you think about the entire Inter Milan versus final situation, or like, do you think Inter could actually go and like do it and win it all, or do you think that they will only be to a certain place and that is do you think they have limits to their game?
I don't want Inter to win against Feyenoord, especially because firstly they are Juventus's rival, direct rival, and Italy won't get a fifth spot right now unless Roma or Lazio can pull off a miracle in Europa League. So it's better if they lose for me. Even if they go far, the league can be challenging for them, which opens up them losing the league and them losing later in the later stages to Leverkusen. They could beat Feyenoord in my opinion, unless Hansko plays the outstanding game, another outstanding game at the left centre back position, which could be hard against a team that is tough to break down in Inter Milan. The one thing about Inzaghi this season, he's a brilliant cup manager, but Inter haven't performed in big games this season. They lost to Napoli. They didn't win against Juventus as well. They have losses against AC Milan. The Fiorentina beat them in one game as well. Uh, Atlanta, they match up well against Atlanta, so and Inzaghi has Gasparini's number there. But I don't trust Inter Milan to actually win the Champions League because of how poor they have been in big games this season. Some of the players, they're not in the touch that they were in last season. We talked about Thuram earlier. He was brilliant in the first half of the season, but in the second half of the season, he actually his form has dipped. While Lautaro Martinez has actually picked up a good amount of games in his leg now. He was struggling in the early part of the season because he played with Argentina as well after a long season. So he is in form. Barella is being overworked, and if he gets injured, Inter Milan season is off the rail. Bastoni yesterday played an amazing game from what I heard. I didn't watch the match, so he's a big piece in that puzzle. But Inzaghi and how he makes his substitution inside a game, it's very data based, which is ineffective in big games, in my opinion, especially in UCL. It could work in Serie A, but
I
sometimes in
mean,
UCL, you need your big players to stay in the game. If you remember last season in UCL, why they lost? Because most of the big players got subbed out, and Atletico capitalized on that, and the game went into the extra time and they won
Hmm.
against Inter. So that is an
Right.
aspect of Inzaghi that I generally don't like, his substitutions.
Hmm.
Coming on to
Okay.
Real Madrid, I agree that Real Madrid isn't that good right now. Our defense is not that good. Asensio played well. Rudiger is just coming off an
Hmm.
injury and he still needs to get into a good rhythm.
Hmm.
You can't trust Tchouaméni there. Alaba,
Hmm.
he's, he's not on a level that Real Madrid needs to be. He's
Hmm.
still a good player. And Fede Valverde is injured, so Vasquez is playing right back. But if Vasquez is playing right back in a big game, I don't trust that side of the pitch to not concede goals. That is an aspect. Real Madrid, I would have taken any other team in this 16 except Atletico Madrid. That is one team I actually fear because Simeone reads Ancelotti really well. And they have a really good defense, even better than Inter, in my opinion, because of the structure that is provided by Simeone, rather than the individual brilliance of certain players. And they have got strikers and midfielders who continuously work hard and not get exhausted and not actually and their energy levels are up and up throughout all 90 minutes. We talked about Julian Alvarez before the stream. This guy presses and presses you throughout 90 minutes. I think any fan would agree who watches him regularly. So and Griezmann, he's an X factor player. He can pull off nothing. He can pull off something out of nothing from nowhere. So that is an aspect that really bothers me. I would have taken Arsenal, I would have taken Liverpool, PSG. I don't mind them. Bayern Munich, I don't trust, and Vincent Company right now in big games. I have not seen him play well, and I think Xavi Alonso is hasn't lost a game against Bayern Munich in like last two this season as well as the previous one. So I don't think they'll go past Leverkusen if Leverkusen plays well. So that is something that needs to be kept in mind. That's all. As for Juventus, we lost against PSV. They played really well.
Hmm. We're taking few comments before we like continue the conversation. Yeah, Arush, I get it, man. I get it. Um, yeah, okay. Yeah, people really need to deep into Inzaghi's tactics.
You might want to
I,
put your cap back on, buddy.
uh, fine, fine. I get it.
Well, that's what they're saying. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, anyways, I prefer this look. Anyway, yeah. I do know that Arush is like a big fan of Inzaghi, and like he has put in many threads on Twitter as well about like raving about his tactics, and I think Rahul did cover up regarding that he's not that great when it comes to playing big games. This could
No,
be a test
he's
as well.
good
Yeah.
in big games, just not this season. His one
Mm,
flaw that has always bothered him throughout his
mm,
tenure at Lazio and Inter is
mm,
the substitution. His tactics
mm,
and the style, the way he interchanges positions seamlessly, and the way his players
Yeah.
find free spaces and they move the ball so accurately that
mm,
sometimes Italian fans say it's like magnet ball. The ball will just come to you. The players
mm,
will make the right run. They
mm,
will find gap no matter what,
mm,
especially and it's such a quick transition. So all props to Inzaghi on the basis of tactics, and you have to understand that he is working on an Inter Milan budget. He doesn't
mm,
get quality players. They
mm,
just get into transfer market and give him anything they can find, and he has to work with them.
mm,
So Inter, what Inzaghi is doing at Inter is brilliant. He's probably top three, four best managers in the world right now.
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. Next one, I think this is for Ainsley. Barca 2 up. Yep. I'm getting my notifications
Yeah.
like that. I think whenever Barca is scoring as well, Ainsley is just like shutting off his camera.
Is that 3 points clear
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
Yeah,
They'll
probably.
win the league. They
I
will win the league.
two
I hope
two
so.
points, I think.
I hope
2
so.
points. I think so.
Okay.
I mean,
Not
Atleti is
point, not points.
up by 2 points. I think Barca are 3 points right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Atletico did win yesterday, no?
It was
Did we?
56, 57,
Yeah,
is it
yeah.
not?
Mhm.
Yeah, Atletico won
Yeah.
yesterday.
Atletico won yesterday. Yeah.
Yep.
Would you take a league title or a Copa del Rey win and a UCL final?
For
That is
Atletico.
50-50. No, for Barcelona.
Mm.
Ah.
Pardon
I
me?
mean, the same applies to
A
Atletico.
league title or a
What's the
Copa del Rey
question?
that you are going to win. Let's just say that, and a UCL final whose result is not finalized. Like you could win
Mm.
that, you could lose that,
Mm.
I'll,
or
If
coming
you
third in league.
I'll take a league. I'll take a league title in the UCL.
That's
Actually, I'll take all three, bro.
or you
Ah.
can win a treble. That is true.
Prize in the bag.
You have Hansi Flick who's already done that, so I mean,
And you have Guardiola who will keep rooting for you, and he's done it
No,
recently. So
no, I don't think so. It's possible to do all three this season, but
Mm.
I'd say winning a La Liga and maybe the Copa del Rey will be good enough. Good enough, I'd say, for Hansi Flick in
Mm.
his first season with all the wins 4-0, 5-0, 7-0, and all the moments he's given us. I think, yeah, definitely. Like La Liga and Copa del Rey. And in the UCL, I'd say minimum semis finish for me personally.
I
Minimum
mean, they're
semis because
probably going to the final in the
And if you
UCL.
win
You've got
against that,
Benfica, and who else is on the other side? I don't think
yes,
there's anyone too
Borussia
much.
Dortmund and
For
that French
Barca,
team.
semi is guaranteed.
Dortmund and Lille.
Yeah. So, like, you know,
Yeah,
might
I
want
think
to
Lille and
semis.
Dortmund.
I think semis will be a good result for Hansi Flick in his first season. Whatever happens from there on, that's God's plan. I can't say much from there because uh, Bayern, I don't know. Bayern may reach or may not reach, or Leverkusen may reach, but I think Inter is going to reach the semis. That is my pick. And in to defeat Inter, it's going to be very tough because they have been very good defensively. And in even in the La Liga, if you watch, we've struggled against teams that play low block and mid block. So I'm not saying Inter will play mid block and low block like the whole game, but I think they are much more of a defensive minded team, and I think it will be very difficult for Barcelona to penetrate behind defense. So yeah,
Can I just say one thing though? If there is any team
yeah, yeah.
this season that can outscore any team, it is Barca. They have the attack and the midfield to break teams down. So
I
even if
mean,
they
like,
come up against Inter, I would fear one team, and that's Barca. Barca can score against Inter.
But
Barca can score against anyone.
but uh, I think the point over here is that one injury to one of our players and a season is over. It's that fragile. I think our important players this season have been Pedri for sure, Yamal, Rafinha, and who else is there? I think even
Leva,
Kubarsi.
Casado has been important to us.
Kubarsi.
Leva,
Lewandowski, yes, I have a personal agenda against Lewandowski, so that's a different story.
Bad man. You
But
guys
I
don't
think yeah,
deserve him.
Kubarsi also.
Sorry. You
he'll
guys
never
don't
be
Kub-
deserve him.
respected very well. Yeah.
Kubarsi,
Never.
Kubarsi and Inigo Martinez also I think have been very important. But I think the most
Kunde.
important player for us is Pedri. Yeah, Kunde also. But I
Oh,
think the most
Pedri,
important player for us is Pedri. I think
Pedri
Pedri's,
goes the season
so.
goal.
Pedri's biggest fan. Pedri's biggest fan is right there, Vardhan. Like, you'll talk about any other midfield, like, he'll bring Pedri out and we're like, bro, Pedri's insane, bro. Pedri's this, bro,
He
Pedri's that.
so because having watched Guardiola football for a long time, you always need one player who can control the tempo of any game, right? And it may not show on his stat sheets, but he is the guy who controls the tempo of the game, and you can
True.
tell he can do any kind of pass. And he's not a goal scoring guy. He's gonna create the flow in between the midfield and the front line, and he does that very effectively. And he never stops running for a guy who's been injured so many times now. And I guess let's be honest, we all saw that coming even during his first season. Like we're playing him
Yeah.
every single 90 minutes.
True.
And guess what happened? Injury,
I
injury,
I
injury.
I
So
agree with this because I think. Sorry, you can continue.
no, just go on. That's all I have to say.
Oh yeah, I think it was that Juventus game. I think where Barcelona was playing Juventus in the UCL, and Pedri had a masterclass performance in that. And that was when everyone knew about Pedri, how good he is. And from there on, like he got injured and everything, and now he's come back. I think this season he's been the best midfielder in the world. I think from me personally, and like the way he controls the game, the way he can find passes out of nothing, it's just amazing. Like it's difficult to find players like Pedri in today's modern generation, at least. And I'd say it's like a more of a hybrid role. I don't think he's Iniesta or Xavi. I think he's more of a hybrid role. Like he's more of a Mezzala and Carrilero. I think if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's been great, bro, this season.
I can talk
Before,
about Pedri for hours, mate. I think we need to switch up from the topic because I love Pedri so much.
and yeah, I know, but before we like, completely like switch away from Inter Milan, one second, I just had Ravi. I will start Rahul. I will take this one last comment from Parth. Simeone and Inzaghi's five at the back are a treat to watch, which I feel is underappreciated because of how people want football to be played.
100%. I mean, I said this when I was describing Inter as well, wasn't I? I
Mm,
think some five at the backs teams,
mm,
just because of how they actually end up countering from their positions and they wait for the right time,
mm,
that I really appreciate. And I think Inzaghi and Simeone's teams do that very, very effectively
mm,
because they have the players to do it. Let's
Mm.
start with that. You need the defenders to be able to do things like that. So
Yeah, because Inzaghi's intention of playing five at the back is not just to like defend
exactly.
for 90 minutes. What he
Mm.
does with that five at the back is he actually structures the opponent's formation. Like he
Yeah.
designs the opponent to move in such a way and it falls into
Mm.
his puzzle nicely, and then he has one beautiful counter fluid football and just gets that goal. So I think he's doing some really good stuff out there.
And I
Mm.
do agree with Raul's point around the inability to perform against big teams, but they've done it. Was it 2 seasons ago that City won the Champions League now? They've done it before, and they were arguably one of the best teams in that season now. Um, so it's not we can't just discount them because they haven't performed against big teams this season. I would say
Mm.
I think we give them a chance. I
Mm.
also, despite being a big Inter rooter, I'm not fully confident they go through to the final.
Mhm.
I'd like them to win, but if
Mm.
there is one team that I'm scared of, Barca can really cause damage to any team. But
Mm.
that being said, Barca's high line and Inter's discipline at breaking down offside traps, I don't know, man. Inter could give Barca a hard time as well.
Mm. Mm. Well, before we completely switch away from Inter, what do you think? Like, what are your predictions for this game?
I think
Inter.
Inter wins both of them. I think
What,
Inter
what?
wins both the legs.
Okay.
I think Feyenoord gets a goal at home,
Mm. Mm.
their home. So 3-1 and then 1-0 at Inter's
1-1.
home.
Okay.
Yeah.
James, what about you?
Look, I agree. I think Milan's quality is going to be too much for Feyenoord to handle. Even though
Mm.
they beat City, what it was smash City something. I can't remember what the scoreline
It
was.
was a draw. 3-3. We choked from 3-0 up. I remember
Yeah.
that last Friday.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think they're going to win both legs. I agree that
Mm.
Feyenoord will score at home. I think it's going to be 4-1 and it's going to be 0-0 at the San Siro.
Mm. Mm. Vignesh?
I'm going to play devil's advocate here and say Feyenoord are going through because you see, my team faced Feyenoord and we lost
Mm.
3-0.
Mm.
I saw that Feyenoord team. I know what they're capable of. I think they are this year's UCL boogie team, and
Okay.
I feel like in the Milan fixture, they're good at away games for some reason. I don't know why. I think they
Mm.
win 2-1 at San Siro and they draw at their home. So I think Feyenoord going through, but it's going to be a low scoring game.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to see that happening. What about you, Ainsley? What do you think?
I think Inter Milan is going to win both the legs. Like I think Vardhan, I think said that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sorry if I said that wrong, but
No.
yeah, I think Inter Milan is going to win both the legs. It's an easy victory for them in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Rahul, I know you're very conflicted about this, but what do you think?
Inter Milan should win, and they probably will win. But Feyenoord is a
Mm.
very good team.
Mm.
Let's not discount them. And I want them to win because it's a small club performing against big teams and earning money
Mm.
that they should. So I'll support Feyenoord, but I think Inter Milan will win. It probably be 3-1 or 4-2 over two legs. Nothing more
Mm.
than that.
Mm. Okay. Fair enough. And I, you know what? I'll actually agree with Vignesh. I think I feel like nobody expects Feyenoord to do well, and the way that they've performed against Bayern and the way they've done, um, I honestly think Feyenoord could actually make it. Like I don't know, just weird feeling. No, I have no logic to like back it. To be very honest, I have no logic to explain why this could be a possibility. But I think Feyenoord could actually go through.
Don't they have a new
Um,
coach as well? Isn't Robin van Persie new head coach of Feyenoord or something?
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
that shit fellow. That yeah, he is. I wanted Feyenoord, but at this point, I don't want to play UCL. I don't want Arsenal to play any games, so I don't want to watch. But it's just a habit at this point. But yeah, moving on. We'll talk about a Premier League team this time, Liverpool. Well, Jayant, Liverpool will be facing PSV. Sorry,
PSG.
PSG,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on the game?
Look, it's pretty upsetting to finish first on top and then face PSG in the round of
I was going to
16.
say that. Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
you
An
know what's the?
informed
I kind of
PSG.
wish Barca didn't choke and won the last game, so we would come
Mm.
second.
Mhm.
But that didn't happen. Look, PSG is probably the one team that I didn't want to be facing in the round of 16.
Mm.
To be honest with you, looking at their form, they've signed Kvaratskhelia from Napoli recently.
Oh,
Dembele's on fire.
Yeah.
Got who else?
John Neves,
Dembele's
Barcola.
transformation.
Barcola.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got
they're stacked,
Barcola.
bro. They're
Yeah, they've
stacked.
got. It's like looking at that right hand side, Trent versus Kvicha is going to be a bit scary, I think, when you think about that. And then Dembele versus Robertson on the other side, which is going to be even more scary. Look, I think we're going to get through, but it's going to be a very close game in Paris on Tuesday, and at Anfield, I think we should beat them. I think our first game is going to be a draw in Paris. I think the next game we're going to be very close, 1-0, 2-1 at Anfield. I think, in my opinion, the team's got momentum at the moment. We nearly have one trophy in the bag. Cup final coming up next month. And
Carabao Cup, bro. FA Cup is
it's still a
different. That's the main trophy. Carabao
more
is
than
a.
Sanchit has won in the last 5 years.
I mean, they did win the Community Shield, you know. Amazing.
We
You won
won
a
it.
dinner
They
plate. You won a
won
dinner
dinner
plate,
plate,
Sachin.
so that's pretty
We
good, I
we
guess.
we won the FA Cup. Shut it down.
They
But
won the
you also won
Community
a dinner
Shield
plate.
on merit because they didn't actually win the trophy to get into the Community Shield because City was too good. But no, I think the team's got momentum. It's going to be a tough away game next week. We should win at Anfield. We should go through. It'll be a lot closer than people are going to say it's going to be. We're not going to blow this PSG's time this side away. They're too good. You know, they have momentum as well. They won their game, I think, the other day. They won it quite good. And Luis Enrique, I think, tactically will set up in a way to frustrate Liverpool. But I think, as we've seen this season, Arne Slot can, adapt, and he's shown that he adapts quite well to whatever opposition he's facing, mid block, low block, high line, high pressing teams. So yeah, I think based on that, we have one of the best attackers in the world at the moment playing, and one of the best defenses in the world playing as well. So I think based on that logic, we should be going through to the next round.
But there's a but. I thought there was a but in your sentence, but okay, good enough, fair enough. But I actually agree with this comment from Arush, which I wanted to say as well. Like Luis Enrique has managed to channel the best out of his attack. Liverpool might be right up there, neck. Agreed, because before we all knew PSG as that. What do you say? Ibra's PSG or Beckham's PSG. Then it became Neymar's PSG or Mbappe's PSG or Messi's PSG and all of that. But no, right now, I think PSG are playing as a team, not as like some bunch of superstars trying to pull up something out of nowhere. I think the closest PSG played as a team was, I think, during COVID against Bayern, if I'm not wrong.
In the
I
final.
think, in the final, Thomas Tuchel. That final, my God, this PSG were like something else. But then Bayern being Bayern, they won it in the end. But
PSG missed very good chances that game, you know. I will say that. Neymar
Let's rephrase that. Neuer saved those.
Yeah, but some of them were straight at him, but I get it.
Oh, there was one good chance where actually Di Maria would nutmeg Alaba, take out Boateng, and then he would just like butcher that shot. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that should have been a goal.
We'll come to the Neuer situation soon. Don't worry, we have time for everything.
So predictions for Pool versus PSG, I suppose.
Does anyone have any other thoughts though? I mean, like we have another comment before we take that. Do you guys have any other thoughts regarding?
Yeah, I was just gonna say what exactly Giant said, where it's very unfortunate. They play so well in the league's phases. They finish first and they end up with PSG. Like I feel like they deserved a little relatively easier opponent just because of how Liverpool has played the entire season so far. I mean, they totally deserve everything that comes their way, and just because of the way they've kept playing the league, I always thought it's going to be a Barca Liverpool Champions League final this year. So but yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but I think Arne Slot might just know how to figure it out. So like it should be okay.
I mean, it can still be a Barca Liverpool final if you look at the
I agree. I
So
agree. Yeah.
hopefully,
I think it's
I'm
gonna
just
come
gonna
down
say,
to that battle between the fullbacks and the PSG
Hmm.
wingers is gonna be the key situation if we go through or not, pretty much.
Oh yeah, that's a good comment, Arush. Actually, yeah, Barcola doesn't perform. Quara comes in. Dembele doesn't. Yeah, suddenly they
the
have depth. From
Due
nowhere.
has been really scary as a winger.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if his
Mm-hmm.
goal assist output has been great, but he's like
Mm-hmm.
a bit like Doku that way, just really good on the dribble.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they've the whole front three line, and I think Dembele's played quite a few games in the up top, hasn't he? Down the middle,
Mhm.
and
Oh
he's
yeah,
been
yeah.
scoring from the left foot. Right, we always knew he has had 5-star weak foot in FIFA for ages, man. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
he still
so,
does. He still does. And
so
what I
he,
like about Luis Enrique is he's
Mm,
made sure all his attackers have that ability. Because I
yeah,
noticed in
mm,
the game, Dembele just
mm,
casually switches from left to right wing or right to
mm,
left wing, and the same thing with Barcola because they both are
mm,
fast and they have the ability to play with both their feet, right? So I think
mm,
that's going to be a huge factor
mm.
coming in. So yeah.
I think PSG.
apparently Dembele didn't have both feet when he used to play for Barcelona, bro. I mean, the
I mean, he
chances he missed
also
against
half the time
Liverpool,
in Barcelona.
I can't overlook those chances that he missed against Liverpool, man. I mean, he's one on one with the keeper and he missed it.
Mm,
It's mad.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You always you had way better players than Dembele, and I think a lot of expectation around Dembele. Everyone
mm,
knew he'd be very injury prone. I think his Barca career was very injury riddled, wasn't it? So
mm, mm,
that
mm,
also plays in. I
Yeah,
think Dembele's had a
fair.
good phase of being not injured recently with PSG, and a
mm,
lot of it is helped by the team's general form. So
mm,
I will say to Jay's point, I know you expected to get someone not that good like PSG,
mm,
but
mm,
PSG were in that shit part of the phase and draw for a reason. They were very pathetic for the largest part of, just like City.
mm,
Better than City, but just like City. They were there for a reason.
mm,
They've recently started. I guess the problem with for Liverpool is they've picked up really, really, really good form since that City game, and just
mm,
right before it, I would argue, and they've
mm,
kept it up. And everyone's
mm,
an amazing goals going for, and that's the biggest problem. I think
mm,
Liverpool have had a blip. They're coming back slightly, but they had a blip versus the
mm,
PSG that's been in their highest form. So that's the reason it's gonna be a close game,
mm.
in my opinion. Form.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just to make a point here, one thing
Mm,
we have to regard in this case is that PSG will be able to rest their players in the league, while
Oh yeah.
Liverpool has to
Well, they
play a
can.
lot of games.
I think we can, but 13
Yeah.
points clear, I think we can rest some.
Arsenal's not challenging
And we have
easily.
Southampton at home next weekend. So we should hopefully be able to.
yeah.
Are you playing
Yeah.
this week?
Next
Are all
weekend,
the teams playing this
yeah,
week?
this Tuesday, I think, is the away leg for us.
Okay.
Mm, mm,
That
yeah.
that can be said. The same thing can be said for Barcelona also. I think, right? They are playing now today,
Mm,
and now
mm,
I think they play on the 5th. So like we have only 2 days of rest and something, 2 or 3 days of rest. Whereas
mm,
Benfica have had a whole week rest before
mm,
the game against us. So
mm,
I will say
yeah,
that I think it's good that we came out of the FA Cup as when we did, because if not, we would have played yesterday night. But we've got the full week to rest and train, and players got on
mm,
holiday, stuff like that.
mm,
Um, so I think the rest will be good. But the other thing with rest is momentum goes out the window if you rest for a
mm,
week. I will say
mhm.
that as well.
Mm. Um, before we wrap it, before we any, before we wrap up the Liverpool side of things, predictions. What do you guys think?
Jay should go first.
Yeah, James. No,
I'm gonna
no,
say
no,
it's gonna be
yeah.
2-2 at the Stade de France, whatever it's called, and it's
Mhm.
going
Start
to
the
be,
family.
I think, a 2-1 at Anfield for
Okay,
Liverpool.
okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Um, ex Barca manager and players, PSG. Ainsley, what are your predictions? Do you wish for PSG to do well? What do you
um,
think?
I don't wish for PSG to do well, obviously, and I don't want Dembele to win the Ballon d'Or. but I think PSG might just do it this time. Like the squad they have, the players that they have, squad depth, and considering their league is not top tier. I'm not saying it's a bad league, but it's not top tier, and they have no competition over there, right? So their players, I think they can be rested, and also they have like no fatigue. So if they play the game and play how they play, I think they can do it against Liverpool. They can win, go through. So I'm going to say PSG
Okay.
to win it.
Okay. Rahul, what about you? I think he's having a little bit internet issues. Okay. Yeah, Rahul, what are your predictions?
Yes. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you are.
I think PSG goes through. Honestly, I think they stack up really well against Liverpool. They've got great
Mm,
wingers. Their midfield is sorted. Their
mm,
defense, I really like Pacho. I liked him since his Frankfurt days, and I'm glad PSG got him because that's a really, really good player.
mm,
Unless Donnarumma
mm,
makes a mistake, PSG will win that game.
mm. Vignesh, what about you?
Close game at Parc des Princes, convincing win in
Mm.
Anfield, but across both the legs, I think Salah is going to show why he deserves the Ballon d'Or this year.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
Bayern shirts
I think
and
it's. I think Salah is
uh,
gonna like. He's just gonna He's gonna silence a lot of
mhm,
people. I feel because I think Liverpool like as somebody who doesn't support a Premier League team, I've been watching a lot of Premier League games this year, and I've been enjoying all the games Liverpool
mm,
play. Because even if they concede, they have this way of just getting back on track and getting things done right again. So
true, true.
I think
Mm,
that's what Arne Slot has done. Because when he came in, what I feel is he didn't completely scrap
mm,
off what Klopp has built all these years. He's taken that as
true,
his good a base template, and he's just tweaked it here
mm,
and there, and that's kind of worked
mm,
out for them really well. So it's going to
mm.
be a close one. They're going to test Liverpool really well, but I think it's Liverpool through for me.
Same, I somehow see Liverpool winning this. I'm not even like um, I'm not even gonna say like like uh, PSG gonna miss players and that's how Liverpool are going to win. I'm not gonna even say that. I'm just like I think the kind of momentum that Liverpool are on right now. I think they will win it over two legs. I don't think they'll even like draw anyway. I think they'll win both the legs and that's how they get through.
High
We'll
possibility, yeah.
take few comments before we completely wrap up the Liverpool side of things. Um, Hey, Dr. Vivek. So, hi, how are you, Dr. Vivek? Hello, everyone. Why is John Cena? What?
There was
He's
some
been staying
game
in
yesterday,
WWE or something.
some
There's
event,
something
yeah.
on,
Yeah,
yeah.
And I think it's
I mean,
because he looks exactly the same as how he started WWE. So I think that was the meme trending, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
oh,
Something like that. Yeah, yeah.
I've never watched WWE, so I have no idea.
Okay.
I didn't know John Cena or like names, but I have not watched. So I don't know. Um, Park says 4-3 aggregate to oh damn crazy. Okay.
Hmm.
I have
Yeah.
similar thoughts.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, they
I'll
did.
answer that first. India versus Australia semi-final. Oh goodness.
Wait, I forgot
Um,
to ask. What are your predictions for this game?
yeah, I was just gonna say that. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Sorry.
after I recover that with the fact that we're gonna face Australia again, which is as long as Travis Head doesn't is out quickly, we win. Anyways, coming back to football.
Mm,
Um, I say 3-1 PSG at their home and
mm,
2 Liverpool at Anfield. So both win at their home, but PSG wins and Liverpool goes all hard out attacking in the last phases at Anfield to try and recover that one goal deficit that they have. But PSG goes
okay.
through. That's what I think. Um,
Bro had to make it dramatic for sure.
well, it's because usually, do you know what? The thing is, usually if you are at home in the second leg, there is, I think, I don't know if there's stats to it, but I feel like teams go through more often. But
Mhm,
I feel like this might be a different one. So I don't know. It's hard
mhm,
to win at Anfield, which is why I'm still taking Liverpool to win at Anfield. I just think, like at France, in
mm,
Paris,
mm.
they'll lose by enough to not be able to come back. That's
I
all.
will just add to that is whoever said they're going to lose at Paris, Slot hasn't lost a game apart from the Forest game this season with his full fit starting 11,
Mm.
do we think that PSG can do that when no other team in the world has been able to beat us with our full fit 11?
Well, you haven't played PSG yet.
Uh, I'd like to
So,
add that it's the UCL. Anything can happen.
yeah,
This is it's like in the UCL, luck also is there to some extent. Luck
yeah,
matters
Good.
because I say this because last season in the semi-final, I think it was Dortmund versus PSG, and
Mhm.
PSG had like 5 or 6 shots on the post. It was
Mm.
just
Oh
I thought
yeah,
PSG
yeah,
would
yeah,
win
yeah.
that game. They had 5 or 6 shots on the post, and I was out there looking, and I was like, PSG deserved to win this, but like they didn't go through. Although I hate PSG, I don't like PSG, but it is what it is, man. Like it's like in the UCL, luck also matters.
Yeah.
So I think that is a factor over there to
I
what
will
Jay
say
said.
if PSG does win, I wouldn't agree with people coming out and saying it would be an upset. I think
Mm.
they're capable of winning. It's not an upset, in my
Mhm.
Mm.
opinion.
I agree.
Fair,
Yeah.
I agree.
fair.
Mm. Um, Parth says Liverpool is winning the Premier League and Carabao Cup. That's enough for Arne Slot's first season. That's all
100%.
okay.
Uh,
As you can clearly see, these guys are my boys, Arsenal fans. So yeah, Salah's worst game is yeah, exactly, man.
yeah,
I just
exactly. Yeah, Path.
in
That's exactly my point.
mm,
So
mm, mm.
And also
The
with the
Gulf in
Carabao Cup,
mm.
sorry, interluding, Brighton have just scored a goal against Newcastle. So
Oh
Newcastle,
yeah, yeah. I just got a notification saying that Gordon got a red card as well. Is that true?
both teams got a red card, but now Newcastle's only chance of winning a trophy is the Carabao Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So just putting that out there, you know.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Welbeck
Liverpool are
as
playing
well.
it.
It's Welbeck as well. The
Yeah.
second goal.
Oh, dude, Brighton's, I mean, Welbeck at Brighton could be like that, that trend was going on, right? Barclays player or something like that. I think Welbeck at Brighton has that era thing. He's
Bro,
been on some song.
that Minte guy is really good, huh? At
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Brighton. He
Minte,
so
scored
yeah.
the
true.
first one today as
Mm.
well. He's been really
Anyway,
good.
anyways, no, let's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
go
sorry.
there. We'll definitely have a different topic regarding that. Dr. Vivek just got to know John Cena did the sin. He turned a villain finally after 3 decades. He's been in the game for 3 decades.
oh yeah,
John Cena. My God. Yes. Our slot has a lot of the game.
This comment's so good.
Maybe Arsenal need a better sports nutrition and physiotherapy
They need a better
department.
coach,
Just
man.
saying.
Arteta's not it.
Or maybe they need better staff in the background. So
I have to allow to point out.
They need a better play than Kai Havertz up front, that's for sure.
you need Gaio Keres. That's what you need.
Welbeck scored two. Gordon won't play the Carabao Cup final. That is one of Newcastle's two best attackers out. Slot and Liverpool are living the best lives.
Though
But anyway,
fair play to Slot. Fair play to Slot.
mm,
I really respect what he's doing. He
mm,
plays good football, and I feel he plays similar football to Klopp in a lot of regards. Team is full of
yeah.
high energy, and he
Yeah.
managed to get the best out of one of my favorite players, Dominic Szoboszlai. I love
mm,
Szoboszlai, and he's
mhm,
getting good out of him.
I
mm,
think the thing, but there's control now. It's not just gung ho attacking, 90 minutes attacking football. You know, after we go
mm,
2-0 up, 2-1 up, it's
mm,
just sit back, defend, control, keep possession.
mm,
Don't keep attacking to score 5, 6, 7 goals, and then you concede 3 or 4. You know.
Mm,
mm, mm.
fair,
We'll
fair
take
play.
one. We'll take one last comment before we wrap up the Liverpool side of things. PSG winning it 4-2. The tie will be decided by Trent versus Dembele and Salah versus Nuno Mendes. The midfield battle will be interesting. Quality versus quality. Fair enough.
True.
I
Um,
think Nuno is a better
Mm,
defender than Trent, though. So not the best comparison.
Slot is Klopp with Pogba, which is what Klopp's teams were criticized for. I think, yeah. Anyways,
Yes.
speaking about luck, unlucky, things not going your way, inspired doing your best. Let's talk about Bayern versus Leverkusen. Vignesh, what's up?
Spicy game.
Oh
Bye.
yeah. So I know like a lot of people like don't really follow the Bayern stories. Just to give a quick backstory or context, right? We had the worst season last year, finished third, no trophies, just completely disappointing towards the end. So we signed a manager who was Bayern's seventh option. His only work experience was promoted from the
Championship.
TFL Championship to Premier League with Burnley, and then again getting relegated. The reason him being signed was he was Pep Guardiola's recommendation. This is context. So when he came in, I think as Bayern fan, like our entire fandom, we just agreed not to criticize him for the first 2 years. Like we are not going to say anything to him because the reason for bringing a young, inexperienced manager was to kind of take the team with him. So far after the season, the only thing that we hear from our ultras and the internal news is that all the players in the team are extremely happy with Vincent Kompany. Everybody's happy with him. Although the Champions League like performances have been poor, everybody is just happy with how the environment in the team is. So this gives me a little hope that he's building the team for the longer run. The heartbreaking part is this year the UCL final is in Allianz Arena, and I would have loved to be there, but the reality is we are not going there. Like it's just not happening. So the problem right now is Kompany was a defender, and he's one of the legendary defenders our game has seen. So what he's doing is he's building the team out from the back. He has created a structure for the defense. In 87% of the games, we have done outstandingly well. This year, we've gotten more clean sheets than we actually expected. But what's funny is, if any of our defender makes a mistake, the mistake is so lethal, the opponent scores. It's a guaranteed goal. Like, we make a mistake, it's not even like, oh, the opponent came so close to score and they missed it. No. If we make a mistake, they score. And that is what has been affecting us this year in the UCL as well. We lost 1-0 to Aston Villa. Neuer made a blunder mistake, gone. Barca purely just outclassed us. That there's nothing to talk over there. It was not just the fact that we were bad; they were just phenomenal. Like mad respect to what they did.
Hansi Flick's Barca. Hansi
Yeah,
Flick's Barca.
Flick's Barca. Yeah, Flick's Barca. They cooked us, and a lot of people say like Real Madrid Bayern is like the best UCL fixture. I'm like no, because Madrid beats us all the time. I personally think Barca Bayern is a better fixture for me personally because it's either they murder us or we murder them. There's no middle ground, and that's
bro, it's Madrid City. What are you talking about? That's the best fixture.
What?
Madrid City is a derby. That's the best CL
more
fixture.
recent. See, you guys are more recent. Bayern Barca has been going on since like 2002 or 3. I don't know. So yeah. So we lost to Villa, we lost to Barca, and then against Feyenoord we just go completely blank. Now this has been a very confusing season for me. The reason is because we have this poor match against Feyenoord, and then we go back to the league and we pull off like an amazing defensive masterclass where the opposition has no attack at all, right? So it's been a roller coaster ride so far because we're doing really well in the league, right? Now coming to this particular fixture against Leverkusen. In the last 2 seasons, we've played Leverkusen 5 times. We have lost 2 and drawn 3. Pretty much haven't won still against Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen. The problem is because, again, Leverkusen is very creative. They are very similar. So they start off with the 5 at the back, and then they go for a 3 defense and have like 4 attackers in the front. He has Nathan Tella, he has Boniface, he has Patrick Schick. All three amazing strikers, and he keeps rotating them out for fun. And after this stream, you all can go and watch the highlights, the 0-0 highlights between Bayern and Leverkusen. It was a 0-0 draw, but it was one of my most favorite games this season because Bayern had totally 0 shots, 0 on target, like no attack. We out of 90 minutes, 87 minutes we played in our own half. That was the first time I've seen Bayern having like 29% ball possession and just like playing defense. 11 people parking the bus kind of ball, okay? So I don't have a lot of hopes for this one because I feel like Leverkusen is just way too creative for us. And they'll just find that one goal which they need. That's all they need. They just need a goal and then they'll get back to their structure again. But that being said, I do have a small feeling that Bayern could run away at least in the first leg because it's an Allianz Arena. We could take that to our advantage. But overall, even if we survive by Leverkusen, I don't think we are beating Inter Milan for sure. So, yeah, that's just my overall
Guys, I've known Vignesh for a like long time. Um, I've known him for a while, and the kind of things he does in life too is like very structured, like how he has done right now. He's a student of life, clearly. Um, the kind of preparation he's come up with. He even messaged me asking, I said, Suchi, tell me what is going to happen today so I can prepare. Like, yeah. Anyways, coming back to the footballing things.
Predictions.
Hmm?
Did you actually already predict who's gonna win? Did you
No,
say
no,
that,
no.
Vignesh?
No, I didn't predict.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, do you guys have anything regarding this, the rest of you guys? Do
I
you think
I
think this
Leverkusen?
is going to
Yeah.
come down to who's going to score more goals. Because defensively, Bayern is absolutely
Mm,
shocking. You have Eric Dyer, Upamecano, Kim Min-jae, pretty much.
mm,
Correct me if I'm wrong. Those are your three centre backs, right, Vignesh? Your
Hmm.
main three centre backs, pretty much. I think it's going to just be who's going to score more goals in this game. You know.
So that's okay.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
So I just wanted to add one thing to that, right? So yeah, the thing is, defense is a hit or miss. Like I said, we make a mistake, Leverkusen will score. But if we
mm,
don't make a mistake, they are not getting past us. I can
mm,
put all my money on that for sure. So we really have to hope that they are all in good mood, good mentality on that day. Comes down to that. But another
yeah,
crucial thing for us this season is a
mm,
lot of games where we win very mid, like with the mid performance,
mm,
is what I feel is our midfield has been an issue. And with
mm,
respect to Joshua Kimmich. So all these
mm,
years, we've
mm,
kind of praised Joshua Kimmich because he's a really good holder of the ball.
mm,
This season, we felt that he's holding the ball way too much. And that's
mm,
kind of reducing our creativity. And the reason I say this is because the last 4 or 5 games he's been injured, he's not been playing, and we've actually had some amazing games. This weekend we played Stuttgart. They take the lead against us, and then Bayern come up with an amazing comeback performance. And like Alexander Pavlovich, what a player!
mm,
Bayern Munich, please don't sell him at any cost. Like he's your future.
mm,
Pavlovich has been phenomenal, and Goretzka is so. The context for Goretzka is initially in the season, Vincent
mm,
Company told him, "I don't have a place for you.
mm,
Look for
mm,
other options."
yeah,
Goretzka responds saying, "No, I'm going to fight for my place," and that's exactly what he's doing. After a
mm,
very poor start to the season, every time he came on as a sub or he's been starting because Kimmich is injured, he's been putting up very good performances. So I feel like now the midfield is a little more fluid, but just to like Jay's point,
mm,
it comes, I think Leverkusen Bayern, it either comes down to who scores more, or like it's just going to be a very slow, dead game where both of them just defend and play like an extra time match out or something. So
mm, mm,
another big thing for us is we have a lot of dead weight in our attack, like Nabri, Sane. I think it's time for us to like just discard them from the club, just give them out for free, honestly, because we've given them so many chances all these
mm,
years, but it's been a very mediocre performance. You know, they make
mm,
our attack look so mid, because of
mm,
which Harry Kane, who's supposed to play number 9, is now playing CDM. He is literally playing at half line and kind of driving these balls to Michael Olise and Musiala, who's kind of
mm,
literally carrying our team right now.
mm,
So yeah, it's a very shaky season so far, like performance wise. But I hope he's trying to build something in the long run. So I'm not going to
mm,
be too hard.
mm,
I mean, I will say about Harry Kane playing CDM, let's not confuse it as something he's only doing right now. He
mm,
has a
Yeah.
tendency to come back a lot, and I don't
mm,
always think that's a good option,
mm,
especially when your wingers are not contributing enough goals and assists. That's the
mm, mm,
problem. I've seen
mm,
Sane miss so many goals he would have scored at City since he's come to
mm,
Bayern.
mm,
Nabry has not been the most clinical. Musiala, and I think he had a better last season than he's having right now.
Yes, he did.
Olise is new. He's had a few good games. He's been
mm,
amazing, but I think goals
mm,
assist wise, Harry Kane is still you're highly dependent on him, like we're dependent on Haaland. So Harry Kane needs to learn to stay up when he doesn't need to come back, and
mm,
that's his biggest problem. And
mm,
we saw that in the Euros. Bro was
mm.
awful. Like he thinks
Yeah.
he's a cam when he needs to. We need a presence in the middle. Anyways,
Mm,
that's a different topic. But it comes down to Harry Kane, doesn't it? Like for you
yeah.
guys. But yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I can
uh,
talk more when we get into predictions. But
yeah.
yeah,
That too, they let go of this one.
tell
Tell. They let go of Tell. So I don't know
he's
if
not
you
good.
guys. He's a young kid. He's just about 19, 20. There's a lot of time to
He,
develop as well.
he's
Give him
whatever.
time.
He's a Tottenham player now. He's finished.
Also, apparently
Uh,
Kimmich is going to Arsenal or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
was
that
I was
good.
actually hoping we would loan him out to Arsenal, but I don't know, he chose Tottenham. Like he chose Tottenham for some reason. So like
Okay,
so
Wait, why
I don't
ask?
know like what's happening with
Okay.
that. So
I mean,
We're taking few.
Hell would be your best player in attack at the moment, though, Sujit, like for Arsenal.
Olise and
Dude,
Kane, right?
I would take anyone. I would take anyone. I would take anyone who can run. Not Sterling. I would take anyone, somebody who can run. Like,
for Leverkusen fixture, who I think is the best Bayern attacker? Alphonso Davies.
oh,
He is the reason we won against Celtic. They in the second
yeah.
leg they scored. Okay, the game was so like kind of bland. Celtic started getting the ball and they started just controlling. They're like, hey, yeah, let's just take this game to extra time. Davies was injured, so he was just recovering, so he didn't start the match. Right? He gets subbed in, and the tempo of the game changes the next fraction of a second.
True.
He's a pace merchant. I'm just going to say it. And we are blessed that he can really dribble the ball well. So what he does is he kind of takes control of the left wing, the left flank entirely, from the left back to the wing. He tells whoever's playing wing, like at that time, either it's Nabri or Sane, he tells them to go in. He takes the ball all the way till the post and he does a cutback. And it was actually one of those attacking scenarios that kind of led to a very weird, undeserving goal. Because let's be honest, guys, we kind of did not deserve to beat Celtic there, to be fair, just because of the way we played second leg, but I'm happy with it here. Right? So I think Davies playing is crucial. I'm glad he extended his contract with a nice like Kendrick Lamar type song, but yeah, it was nice.
I think he's
Staying in Munich is the name of the song. Or something, yeah.
He's like Guardiola for us. Just when nothing is going, nothing is working, he'll come up with a goal or assist. Yeah.
Shout out to Conrad Leimer. He is
yeah.
our equivalent of KL Rahul. He will play wherever he's asked to. Simple as that. He does not argue with the managers. Like,
Wow.
very disciplined guy. Plays midfield, plays cam, plays right back, plays centre back, plays right wing. I've seen him play everywhere this season. So
He's like
I was
Fede almost. Fede for Madrid is Conor Lama for Bayern.
Yes. Leimer is very important to us. So yeah, I'm happy he's there.
They're actually very similar players as well. Now that I think about it, Valverde and Leimer, like
true.
Their attributes
of
are
course,
very similar.
Valverde is way up. Like his
Of course.
quality is out of the planet. But
Of
yeah,
course.
sure. Like
Yeah.
style
Type
of play
of
is very similar.
Yeah.
We'll take in a few comments before we come for the predictions. Or do you guys want to add something else regarding the tie? Ainsley, Rahul, James, anything you want to add before we take it in the comments?
I just want to say that defensively, Bayern and Leverkusen have a solid defensive structure. Both of those teams, right? I agree to that statement. Again, coming on to the same point, I don't trust Vincent Company in big matches, and I don't know why Bayern recruited him, even if it was Pep Guardiola's suggestion. I remember a case
There
in
was
which
nobody else. Who else do you think we should have signed? Like Hansi Flick already made a commitment to Barca, so we couldn't ask him to go back on his word. Alonso was
Sebastian
not
Hoeneß,
leaving. Who?
that Stuttgart manager.
Oh my God, what's his name? I'm sorry, I forgot. No, I don't think he
Sebastian
would have been
Hoeneß, something around those lines. I think he's also related to a Bayern board of director person. There's something.
Oh, really? Okay,
there.
I'm not. I need to check on that. But okay, yeah. Thanks for letting me. Let me check. But I'm not too sure about.
So what I remember between Pep and Bayern is that Bayern actually wanted to sign Kevin De Bruyne, and they went to Pep. Oh, we should sign this guy, and Pep said, "No, we don't need him." And he transferred to City, and one of the first few signings he made was actually KDB.
Yeah,
So,
that is true. But I'll tell you this, okay? A lot like social media portrays Pep and Bayern's relationship as very like flaky.
No, it
but
is good.
honestly,
It
it's
is
one
good.
of the best relationships that we had. Like I
It is
keep
good.
telling this to
I had a lot of fun as a Real Madrid fan facing Bayern Munich during that tenure. My best friend is a Bayern fan, so the games were exceptional.
you mean the game where you had 3 offside goals? Oh yeah, that was definitely fun for us.
Oh, that was a fun time. That was a fun time.
Oh my God, my relationship with Real Madrid is just I don't know.
I don't think anyone likes it.
So I keep telling
you. If we are talking about offside goals, Juventus had one chalked off in a tie against Bayern Munich. We deserved to go through, but Bayern went through The game went into extra time. Koman scored.
No, I think you're just upset. Your
We should
lonely
have
boys
we
scored
should
against.
have left 3-0. We should have left 3-0.
Oh,
Morata scored a goal. It was not offside. Let's not talk about offside goals. Everybody gets favorable calls in UCL.
but Real Madrid
That's
gets it
fine.
the most. I'm sorry.
I mean,
No, no, no,
Madrid's
no.
the
That
king
is
of
that is
offside.
just that is we talked about social media hyping things out of proportion. That is one point as well. Any strong team gets microscoped a lot. Any team that dominates our era gets microscoped a lot. We talk about Barcelona during that 2008 to 2011 period. Every call that they didn't get and the opposition get Inter game or the Chelsea game, they get microscoped a lot as well. Then let's
I
be
mean,
honest,
that is
during
true.
that period, they were the team to beat. They were the best team, right? So refereeing decisions,
I'll add
it's
to that.
50-50.
I'll add to that Barcelona point is that the Chelsea game specifically, I have always had this regret that in the Chelsea game, the first leg, we have had so many calls that were not given in our favor. And
I
similarly
would
in the
say the same
second
about
leg,
Real Madrid on so many matches. I mean, I agree to
I
that fact.
mean,
I agree to that fact. I don't think Barcelona gets favorable calls. That is the point I'm making. Just because they were the dominant team in that era, people pounced on them a lot. Just because Real Madrid is right now,
yeah,
people pounce on them as well. You talk about Manchester City,
but it's
people
see,
say they
it's
get favorable
no,
calls in the
Rahul.
league.
You're
I
I
don't
agree
think
with
so.
you. Any big team gets favorable calls, right? That's a very interest. There's actually even a research paper on that. Like they compare it with NFL as well. All these big clubs get a lot of favorable calls on when they play, but when it happens for 20 years in a row, what's the equation there? Because that
How did it happen for 20 in a row? We
yeah,
didn't win
I don't think
UEFA
he's.
Champions League for like
I
10
tell
to
you, no,
12
no, no.
years.
We'll take, 1 second. So we'll take Real Bayern itself, okay? So the earliest I remember is the 2013-14 season where we got completely outclassed. That 4-0 or 5-0 aggregate we lost, right? The Ronaldo scores the free kick, he
Let's
does
take
that
last season.
celebration.
Let's
So
take last season.
that game which we lost when Pep was the manager, we got brutally outclassed. That was I think a clean slate. But pretty much after that, every time there is some weird controversial thing going on. So you see,
I mean, we
I just
defeated you before VAR era and after VAR era. I don't know how to comprehend this fact that Real Madrid gets favorable calls.
I mean that game when Ancelotti
Those
was our
offside calls
manager.
that you're talking about, I agree they were offside calls.
See,
And
okay. But recently, Marcelo, before retirement on a podcast, he said, "Yeah, let Bayern fans cry. We had 3 offside goals." He himself agreed to it. So like, that was the
yeah,
most
I agree
painful
that they
way
were
to lose.
offside calls.
I
But
think.
it's an offside call before the VAR era.
So
It was tough to make an offside call that time.
referees are trained for it. Referees are trained for it, man.
I
See,
know, but they're
So
human,
all the
bro.
trauma is coming
according to
back.
you, people didn't get offside calls before VAR.
All that trauma is coming back now. Okay, fine. I'll just agree to disagree. We can change the
But
topic.
Let's
it's
talk
the
about
same thing.
Leverkusen. Let's talk about Leverkusen now.
Yeah.
Or if
Yeah.
anybody wants to continue, I can continue on Leverkusen after
One good
that.
thing about
Anybody?
Leverkusen is they are no more additional time goal scoring merchants, right? They are starting to score during real time, and that's actually good.
They
That's
still have
yeah.
Sheik though, don't they?
Hmm?
They still have
Oh,
Patrick
Sheikh is
Sheik,
playing
right?
over.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So that 0-0 game we had against Leverkusen, if Patrick Schick had started, if Alonso played him full 90 minutes, we would have lost 5-0. I think Suchit will agree because he was watching the game as well. The amount of chances Leverkusen had. So yeah, this is going to be a tricky one. So I think can we move to the predictions?
Yeah.
Wait, we'll take few
I
comments. Wait.
think
Comments.
Go
Yeah.
on.
Yes.
Rahul, go on. Sorry, I'm
I
sorry to
think
cut you.
I think Florian will play a great game again. He has been fabulous all season. I think he's one of those players that has put his hat up and said, "Here, look at me. I am one of those Ballon d'Or contenders." I have followed him since he was 17 because there was a lot of hype regarding him. And Tony Cruz also came from Leverkusen. Hakan was also there. So these are midfielders I really liked when they were at Leverkusen. So I was following him since he was 17. I really liked his
Florian
journey.
Wirtz. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
Yeah, amazing player.
Too
I
good.
like him more than Musiala. He could go to
Right now,
Bayern as well
right
or
now I
City.
agree. Right now I
Future
agree.
City player. Don't
Right
worry.
now, Wirtz is a much better player than Jamal Musiala. So
She's getting rattled in the corner there.
Yeah. I mean, like you see it. Never mind. This is the UCL stream. Stick to UCL shit. We will take comments. Vignesh defining Bayern, and I'm relating it with Arsenal. Except we haven't been outplayed by any team this year. it has always been self-inflicted pain via external or internal factors.
I disagree with that. Actually, I think Bournemouth outplayed Arsenal.
Mm,
I was gonna say the same thing.
yeah, I think, yeah.
I
I
think
think
if
even
Arteta plays the same style against teams that play low block, how is that not just being outplayed? Because you make the same mistake again and again and again
Yeah,
and expect a different result. Newcastle just play you
it's
off the
called
park because
insanity.
they just allow you to be like, oh, break our low block.
it's too hard for me here. Swear to
Losing
God.
hair already, man. His hairline's going back.
Uh,
Like, what's the next comment?
uh, ex Gunner taking Brighton to quarterfinals. Yes,
Oh,
it's
it's the
higher. It's
Welbeck
been
one.
yeah,
Well
yeah,
back, huh?
yes. But UCL has always been about mentality and quality, bro. The moment of brilliance and tactics go out of the way. Team which will make the game cagey and have the brilliance will win.
So that
Yeah.
has to be Inter then, right? According to that comment, it will be Inter.
Yeah, definitely.
Real Madrid moments FC.
Don't worry. It's fine. We haven't.
Atletico can knock
Thanks,
us out.
Bart.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ignatius' thoughts were well articulated. Yeah. Yeah.
He's always
I
been
mean,
like this, bro. Vignesh is very good at this stuff.
exactly.
He's very eloquent. That's the word you're
Eloquent.
looking for.
He's good. Demure. I don't know any other technique terms. Whatever it is.
That is nothing to do with this, but sure.
Thank you, Bart. Appreciate the comment.
Dr. Which is why I hold Atletico and Inter. Yeah. See? Yep. Give Gnabry or Sané to our God. Sané was one of the best left wingers when Arteta was at City, and Sané aggregated.
Please take him. Please
No.
take him.
I think he's past
it's a
it now.
downgrade for Arsenal. I
Yeah.
can't lie.
Yeah, that's what I did.
No, downgrade from what exactly?
He's not a downgrade at.
Like at the moment,
I mean,
I don't think he's a downgrade because I think on the left wing they're playing Sterling. So I think if
Hazard.
I think Sané can play both wings, right?
Yeah.
Sané plays
Oh,
both the
no, he
wings.
cannot.
So I
I'll tell you.
think
Okay, can I just add one point? So you know how if you bring two magnets and both the north poles together, you know how they rebel? That is Sané with the goalpost. He comes near the goalpost, he will turn back. He will have an open shot on his right foot, but he'll put it on his left and he'll go near post. Goalkeeper will just catch the ball, not even save it. He'll just catch it. That's Leroy Sané this season.
He
So
wasn't
I'm very
always
sorry.
like that though. That's what confuses me. He used to just bang
I don't
every.
know what happened. It's very sad to see it, but it's I don't know. It's very frustrating these days.
Yeah. Kane is my dream center forward under Arteta's current system. I don't mind him dropping deep because his playmaking is elite and underrated.
I absolutely agree, Parth. I just wish we had the wingers who can convert his creativity into goals. You know, we are not doing that now. Kane, his long balls are just outrageously good, right? Coman or Olise gets the ball, but they're not able to convert it into chances, like into good chances. It's not even on target. That's the problem right now we have. But excellent point. Yeah. I mean,
Kane
that is
will never
Kane's
join an
quality.
Arsenal.
That's why we have him. He can play number 9. He can play number 10. He can even go back if he needs to. So, yes.
If there's one team Kane will never join, it's Arsenal.
Which brings me to the next comment. Or Kane to Arsenal next. The childhood fan coming to Arsenal.
Yeah, it's not happening.
No chance.
Hey Gary Sidhu. Hi bro. I hope Javier also wins against only because he's
Audition. I get it. It's all audition. I get it. Yeah, fair enough.
I actually don't think this is going to happen. I can't lie.
Yeah. It's a fair point because you have to bring results when you come into Real Madrid, right? They need to see something, and if you can beat Bayern in UCL, of course you already have the upper hand. And I think that's the long-term plan. He's not going to renew his contract this year, and when Ancelotti leaves, I think it's a well-structured
you
plan.
guys,
He's won so many trophies already, so you might as well go out,
Hey, I never said I'm against Davies. I'm telling you, we need him. I'm sorry if I was misinterpreting.
No.
No, he's
The
saying
way you were describing Davis, the kind of profile is needed.
Okay. That's like that. Oh, yeah.
If you want someone not that good but slightly similar, go for Mittelstadt. He's rotting in Stuttgart anyways. Or you have Calafiori.
Moving on. I mean,
Yeah, Arsenal next.
We will take in more comments. Wait, trust me.
Jose
This is
loves Bayern
this is
Munich.
my channel. I will put Arsenal in the last. You are not taking that
Hey,
away from me.
geez, why are all of them giving me trauma, dude? Jose Lu
Well,
loves ah.
take a hit of the 2006 UCL final. Now, Barca robbed us. Well, here we go. Here we go. Real Madrid fan was Bayern fan getting interesting. I have. Can you please not add
Can I,
some?
Sushit, 1 second before we go to this comment? Can I just say though, like, honestly, it's not a rivalry anymore because Madrid just keeps winning, right? I wait for the day one day we get to beat them. I just hope I'm alive at that time. But yeah, I mean, they always find a way to win. That's why they have 15 UCLs, right? So in that way, I guess fair play to them. They know to get the result because 40 years down the line, nobody's going to remember all these controversies. They're going to be like, okay, that year who won the UCL? Who won three-peat? Real Madrid has it. So like, I guess fair play that way. So
Now, I'm sure you will remember for the next 40 years.
I will. I'm scarred. I'm scarred for life.
Can you please not add salt to our wound? I'm getting PTSD of the. Okay, here we go.
Oh,
I
they're
have
not
two teams.
ludicrous. Come on, they're not ludicrous. Some of them were well-deserved red cards.
I mean, especially the Lewis Kelly one. Stupid.
Yeah.
Fucking, I've not seen a shittier red card apart
But
from
that
the
one was
goalkeeper
pretty bad. And
yesterday.
the Declan Rice against Brighton, the second yellow.
What do you have to say regarding the second yellow? You think it was a red card?
No, it wasn't yellow. It was not yellow.
Yeah. See, the Lewis Kelly thing, I did see that. See, Kudus was through. It was him who had, he had to stop Kudus, right? Because if Kudus went through, they've
But he
done
was,
Wait,
he
are you
was at
talking
the
about the
halfway
Wolves game or the West Ham game for the
the
Lewis
West,
Kelly red?
the West Ham game.
West
West
Ham game,
Ham
West Ham.
Lewis Kelly got a red card. But buddy, he was near the halfway line. How are you not gonna give your goalkeeper a chance to save something when a guy's at the halfway line? I understand Kudus is fast and strong, but you still have one centre back available, and he has to cross half the pitch. Who knows? Someone from your team might have been able to contest Kudus at that point, right?
That is
So
the other argument.
that was as bad a mistake as Cancelo made against Salah ages ago. Stupid.
But again, like he's just 18 and he's not even his natural position, so it's fine. If a kid like him is making mistakes, I get it. But if someone like Saliba or like Magalhaes makes a mistake,
Yeah, I
like
get
that,
that.
that is an issue. So as long as he's a kid and like learning is straight as is like not even in his natural position, I'd have all the time in the world for it. Two teams outplayed us this season: Newcastle and West Ham. Oh yeah, Newcastle is off. In my opinion, Bournemouth didn't dominate us. The red killed the game. Okay.
I think they were playing fine before the red as
And
well.
saying
but
that
we
as well,
won.
right? With the red card, when we got a red card against Fulham, we dominated them.
Yeah.
Arsenal are equally as good. They should have done that.
Sane made a lot of chances, and that's the problem with Sane at Bayern, though. He doesn't play bad per se, but he doesn't finish some easy chances, and I think that's killing Bayern right now.
Yeah. So my only beef with Sane is you're attacking so well. Okay, you're dribbling, you're going till the end. Just take that damn shot. No, if it goes off target, it's fine. But like, just take that shot. Why are you turning back and kind of letting the opponent's defense come into the box again? Don't give them that time. Just give in a cross or just take that shot. Just do that, and don't keep moving everything to your right foot. Try to take to your left foot. Take some shots on your right as well. Like, yeah. That's my only.
I remember the point that Vignesh made regarding when Bayern makes mistake, it is always going to like result in a goal for the opponent. I think the game against Celtic was one of those exceptions because whatever mistake that Bayern did, Celtic didn't capitalize on it, at least in first half. Because in first half, I think it would have been at least 2 or 3-0 up for Celtic.
Yeah.
The way they played was just brilliant. Like
that's why I said it's undeserving survival we had.
Sane hasn't passed it, bro. The reactionary opinions of a change of environment may help him. I mean, that's what they said when he left City as well. Has he been progressing after that? I don't think so. I think he regressed, right? If I'm not wrong, he regressed from City.
Probably, yeah.
I think finishing wise, I think his playmaking doesn't seem that different. And he was
he's also a player with speed, really good in counter attacks and stuff. So that's being his big asset for him right now. Just if he can learn to convert better.
I still think he has something to say in this upcoming tie. That's my opinion.
Give him to Gasperini and he'll be great again.
Yeah, probably. But but Lookman and Sane together would be something else. As long
Didn't
as
he
Lookman's
score
not taking
against Madrid?
penalties.
Yeah,
Last
yeah,
year.
he did, he did, he
Didn't
did.
didn't he score in Madrid last year in the
That
this
was
UCL
a good
only?
goal. The first leg, yeah, he scored. Yeah, I know that was a
Yeah, that
good
was a
goal.
good
But
goal. I
yeah, like
remember
the thing
watching
is,
that goal live.
if you remember that goal, Rahul, he actually got some space to run like Robin on the left, and he got a chance on his left foot. That's why he took that shot.
I think
Yeah,
this
Yeah,
that's
that
is
was
actually a
actually a
comparison,
good
Robert.
finish. Our
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was a banger.
Mhm.
That was a
Yeah.
good goal. I remember.
I
With
was actually scared after that goal. Then we got that ref call at the end, and it all felt like home again.
Hmm. See, that's my.
It's the usual stuff. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm used to it at this point.
we'll
Once the
take few more
surprise.
we'll take few more comments and then go to the predictions. Prasad, okay, same thing. As a Real Madrid fan, the only club I respect in Europe is Bayern Munich. Why? So that you can beat them
True,
again.
true.
We have gotten five this year. Okay, we're still going regarding Park Bro. Chill, chill.
No,
With the
Saliba
Arsenal
was
section.
there against Bournemouth.
I think let's stop talking about the league. I think we
Uh-huh.
just keep straying the topic.
Yeah, that MLS tackle for Red was needed. Raya was at half. Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if we think Kudus is gonna bang something from halfway line into the goal, even if Raya is off, it's not very easy to just bang something straight into the goal from halfway line. Not everyone can do it. I'm just saying.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One final comment before we go for predictions. I hope Guardiola is okay because he played against Mbappe.
But the
Yeah.
only see, I keep coming back to this. I understand what happened and what Mbappe did to Guardiola, but Guardiola is the left back who came into that position to help. No
Mm.
one else was even trying to cover Mbappe. So you can't shit on
Mm.
someone for going out of their way all the way across the line to come and defend that.
Mm.
What about all the other useless centre backs that City employ right now? So
Mm-hmm.
You use fine, okay.
well,
Anyways,
Guardiola is
gone to shit. So
Guardiola is an exceptional player. I liked him since
mm,
his Dinamo days,
mm,
Dinamo
yeah,
Zagreb, and
mm,
he went to Leipzig, I think. And I wanted
yeah.
him to come to Real Madrid, but he
mm.
had that exceptional World Cup, and then City just bought him. I was heartbroken.
Yeah, I think the World Cup he really showed like what he could do. The
Mhm.
World
Croatia
Cup.
always brings out good talent. That I will say.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Vignesh, remember World Cup when you watched it in the stadium?
How can I forget that, man?
Yeah, how can we
What
forget? Man? It was brilliant. Anyways,
a game that was.
predictions. Predictions, Vignesh, what are your predictions?
So, do you want my dreamer Delulu answer or logical answer?
Yes.
Oh, you
Whatever
want
you
both?
prefer,
Okay,
mate.
you want both? Okay, dreamer. I would say we surprise everybody because literally all critics, everyone's saying buy and go, don't go through. So I would say
Mm,
like a surprise from nowhere, 3-1 win at Allianz and a draw at Leverkusen. But
mm.
logically, I think Leverkusen go through 2-1 aggregate.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sadly, this UCL is not ours. Unfortunately, I don't like very like I'm very nervous to play Leverkusen honestly, like because if
Mm,
they show up with their strikers, it's game over.
mm,
Like
mm, mm,
yesterday they played Frankfurt and within
mm,
30 minutes it was 4-0 and the game was over already.
mm, mm.
So yeah, I mean, let's see what happens. I think the key matchup is going to be uh, Alfonso Davies versus the Leverkusen defense. The other one on the other side, it's going to be the Words and Patrick Schick link up against
Sure.
like Upamecano and Kim Min-jae, whether they're going to keep up with that, the long
Mm,
ball passing and just the kind of the speed which they have right now. Because even
right.
Patrick Schick not only is fast, but he's also physically really strong, right? He's a
Mm,
very bulky guy who can kind of win tackles. So can Upamecano and Kim Min-jae keep up with that? So that'll be a good matchup also.
right. Right. Um, Vignesh, I mean, sorry, Vardhan, what are your predictions?
I think Bayern goes through actually. I was a bit nervous, but the more I look at it in a context of Champions League, I just
Mm,
don't think Leverkusen will beat Bayern. I
mm,
say I say 1-1 draw at Leverkusen,
okay.
and 2-1 Bayern at Bayern's home.
Mm-hmm. James?
I also think, given that the final is at Allianz Arena, Bayern has a bit more incentive to try and get
Mm,
there. So I think
mm,
they're going to go through. It's going to be I think Leverkusen are going to win at home,
Mm-hmm.
and then Bayern like a 2-1 close win, and then Bayern are going to win at home to go through on aggregate.
Okay. Ainsley.
I agree with Jayant and Vardhan. I think Bayern is going to go through
Mm.
on
Rahul? Yeah,
2-1
that's
or maybe
good.
3-2 or something like that, similar.
Mm-hmm. Rahul, what about your predictions?
It's an UCL game, and that pressure is different. I haven't
Mm.
really liked Leverkusen in UCL in their group stages,
Mm.
especially compared to last season and how they were playing. So
Mm.
Bayern do have a chance, but it's
Mm.
just that matchup. Alonso always had an upper hand.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
He
Mm.
hasn't lost to Bayern so far in his managerial career with Leverkusen. So I guess yeah,
Mm.
it's one way to put it.
Barces 3-1. Um, Speaking of 4-0, Barca is winning 4-0 against Real Sociedad,
Sociedad.
and yeah, and let's talk about the Barca game. The group stage game against Benfica was mind-boggling. I ended up on like what 5-4, right? It was, I mean, a lot of decisions
Yes.
were like very dodgy from both sides. But you know what? Yeah, the stage is yours. Go ahead. What do you think about the game?
Uh, I'll be honest. The Benfica game, I had no hopes because
Mm,
historically in the UCL, we have in the recent history at least we've lost to Benfica couple of
mm,
times. I think
mm,
Nunez also was playing at that point of time. We lost to them.
mm,
So I
mm,
was very skeptical, and in the first half only we considered like 3 goals. Chesney
mm.
had that fumble of a moment with
Uh, uh,
Balde, and I think I at that point of time I was like we're going to lose the game today, and the
mm,
Barca fan in me, being a Barca fan, they
mm,
kicked in like they were going to lose. It's 3-0. But then
mm,
how the game ended was a miracle in my opinion, because that
right.
Rafinha goal I think was just I don't know what was that, bro. I saw that Rafinha goal and I was like, no way, like what is this? But then yeah, eventually the game progressed and we won. And I think Rafinha had the goal in the end, which was
Mm,
a very big moment like for me, because over there we could see like the mentality of Flick's Barca. I think the
mm,
whole mentality talk started over there. Also
mm,
considering that in the UCL, we started the UCL with a loss, if you will remember, against Monaco, and from there on
mm,
we've had steady results.
mm,
But I think against Dortmund, I think it was a little bit of a scare where we got a narrow win over there, and again
mm,
against Benfica, then again against Atalanta, I think we had a draw, which in my opinion was a very good game from Atalanta. I'm shocked how they're out the UCL. But talking about this game, I think I think Barca are going to go through narrowly. I don't think it's going to be a huge victory.
mm,
Hopefully, Chesney has learned from his mistakes. But
mm,
and yeah, I think he has, because like in the past few games he's had I think six or five clean sheets in the past 7 games or something. It is really
mm,
good, and he's now I
mm,
think an undisputed starter. In this
mm.
game, I think we are going to, as I said, we're going to win narrowly,
Okay.
like 2-1 or 3-1.
Mm,
But the main matchup, I don't really watch Benfica, so I do not have much knowledge about them.
mm,
But
mm,
I think Pavlidis is a good player over there. Everyone
Yeah,
has seen him. The left
mm,
back, I
Coco.
don't remember his name.
Is it
No,
Coco?
Koku.
That one?
I think the I think it's one of the wing backs. I don't remember the name. Actually, forgot the name. If you can see the Benfica
mm.
game lineup, I'll tell you the player.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
has been also really good for them.
Mm.
And I think for us, we've had obviously Rafinha, Pedri, as I said, Balde also.
So I
So
think
I
that's
think
that.
we should be
Mm,
able to go through.
mm, mm,
And also, I think like with Hansi Flick, what he's doing right now at the club, it's amazing
mm,
actually. Because last
mm,
season we were like down and out. We reached the quarterfinals against PSG. We played a
mm,
really good first leg, and then we went out in the second leg. And from there, where we have come now is, I think it's really nice, like, to watch as a Barca fan. Like, I've been yearning to watch games like this, but yeah, I think, as I said, will. I mean, Barcelona will go through this leg, in my opinion.
Good, good. I think the wing back that you're talking about is United's left back who went on loan to Benfica.
So that's
Yes,
Alvaro
yes, yes, yes.
Fernandez, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fernandez. Yeah,
Alvaro Fernandez, yes.
I had a
yeah.
question for
That guy,
Anthony.
he was
Actually.
really good against us,
You
Mhm.
know,
if I remember.
Barca's midfield is not the most physical
Pardon?
midfield. You know how Barca's midfield is not the most physical midfield, like coming against his Benfica
Fair, fair, fair.
midfield. Yeah, see, as Pat said, the exact question I had was the
Mhm.
physicality of the midfield bother you for your chances of making it through?
So I mean, when I like just look at this Hansi Flick's team and like just how they're doing it, it's almost like, we play high line, we have an average defense, we have a good defense. Our midfield is not too physical. So what? Are you going to score 4 goals against me? Go for it. I'm going to score 9. That's
Yeah,
Barca.
that's it.
So
That's
I feel the
Yeah,
answer to your
that is
question is
true.
they're compensating with the amount of goals and the chances they create and convert it into goals. I guess that's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
yeah. It's a all-out strategy, I think, this Barca
Mm,
team right now.
yes.
The Casado guy is also playing well. He
But
plays
then,
DM for you, doesn't he? Mark Casado.
yeah, I think the physicality part, I don't think we're the most physical, but I think we can control the midfield. Like, if they don't get the ball early, then that's the whole
Uh,
point.
well,
But
it's
I
it's a
think
risk.
Casado has also been. It is a risk, but yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah,
I was
Hansi
just thinking
Flick's
that if
teams,
you come
right?
against, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Hansi Flick's teams are all known for their
Pardon?
highline defense. But the one thing Hansi is not given credit for is the ball recovery time. So if Barca lose the ball,
True.
they're really good at getting the ball back. The recovery time is absolutely brilliant. So I think that also plays to your advantage for compensating for the
But
physicality aspect.
I, I'd like to add, Ala Madrid. I'd like to add that considering this is a big UCL tie and all that, in the La Liga, we have not been clinical. So hopefully we be clinical in this game. I think it is the most obviously it's the UCL. Clinical is the ultimate goal in the UCL, but hopefully we can be, because I think Rafinha has been scoring in the UCL. He's one of the top scorers. Lewandowski also is there, but I don't know. In big games, I've seen Lewandowski. He just goes off, like switches himself off. And I just watched Lewandowski in the UCL. Even last season against PSG, he had good chances. Against Bayern, a season before that, he even had really good chances to equalize against Bayern, but he did not take his chances. So that is one point I'd say in
Just
favor
keep
of Benfica.
disrespecting him. He will show you what he means. Don't worry. But it's good for you even if he disrespects you, because as long as Barca wins, who cares? So
I mean, he did score today as well,
Yeah,
right? So I
that's
think
right.
he scored the
Yeah, he did
fourth
score. He did
goal.
score. But
Yeah, yeah,
I think today there was a red card also.
Yeah,
yeah.
There was a red card to Sociedad. There were 10 men.
But to be fair to
Yeah.
Sociedad is not Benfica in the Champions League round of 16. It's gonna be a whole different beast,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that is a guaranteed thing. Like,
Before we go, anyone wants to add more points to this?
Yeah, I mean, like, I know my team is not going to win the UCL this year, but if they don't, nothing will make me more happier than to see Leva and Hansi Flick lift the trophy in Allianz Arena. Like, nothing will make me more happier than that. Because I'm telling you, this is
to
actually
be
serious.
fair,
COVID, all our lives changed. Personally, so much nonsense was going on, like mentally. Hansi Flick and Lewandowski is what kept my mental health stable. Like, I remember in quarantine, screaming in a hotel room alone when we beat PSG and just like won the UCL, right? So, like, even when they beat us 4-1 this year, like, in the UCL, like, I could not feel bad. Like, I could not feel angry at them. I just could not, that the sentiments are just way too high over there. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I stand them to win the UCL this year, in my opinion. So, but again, they have a lot of things they need to work. Benfica is going to be a really good test for them to see how they handle
adding
this counter attack, because Benfica's awesome in counter attacks.
And also, I think Benfica should be written off. They're kind of dark horses in the Champions League this season. They shouldn't be written off as an easy game for Barcelona, you know?
Mm.
This is
Yeah.
what I've been saying. I've been telling my friends also that you can't write off any team in the UCL just like that. Like everyone has been hyping Barcelona, saying that oh they got a easy path and this and that. I don't think it's a easy path because Benfica is a really good team. They have already shown that against us, and yeah, let's see what happens. Also, I'd like to add to that Leva point that me saying Leva is bad this season is actually it's ironic, because like he's got 33 goals this season. I think so, right? 33 goals, which is crazy. It's a crazy amount of goals. But then, like I've seen him in games where he just looks lackluster. He doesn't have that, end like I'm not getting the word for it, but he doesn't have that end product, like that instinct to like just pounce on the ball and score. In few games, it has been like that. But in the beginning of the season, I think there was this one game, and he like that instinct of his was shown over there. That the ball, I think Rafinha took the shot, it deflected, and he just put his leg in and scored. I think that is required more from him, but also like he's 36 and fatigue and all that comes into
I'm just,
play at this
I'm just
point of
thinking
time.
out loud. I'm just thinking out loud, right? So in Barca, you have so many players who are fast, who are very dribbly, like very, very attractive to watch. Do you feel like because of that, Eva's looking like he's not playing well? Do you think that could be a reason? Just because like Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, and Kubarsi and like Pedria, they're just like doing magical stuff. So Leva, as a traditional number 9 striker, is not looking as attractive as you guys would love to. Do you think that
See,
could be a
I personally come from an era where I watched Suarez, who used to drop deep, carry the ball, have that fancy movement. So I think that it may be a point,
I
but
never
also there
agree
are
with
like
what you're saying.
no, I'm saying also that Leva, his first touch also I think it's been horrendous this season. Like I've watched personally, I've stayed up till 2 a.m. to watch Leva miss chances right in front of goal. So I think that is also like a personal resent I have against him.
Okay.
Just to add to
Maybe
that
Darwin
Lewandowski
Nunes, man.
point, just to add to that Lewandowski point, I agree with Ainsley here. He has lost that spark that he had last season, and especially with Bayern, he has been dropping off slightly. But this season, that drop off has been massive. Technically, he has fallen off. Earlier, he used to occupy that defender, and I am talking about both defenders for 90 minutes. He would bother you, but right now he has that moments of brilliance where he would do something special and pass a ball to one of those winger with one touch passing. But for 90 minutes, he won't keep those defender occupied. They would have time to breathe.
Agreed.
They would have time to rest and formulate plans. And coming on to Barcelona's midfield woes, I think physicality is an issue, but people don't realize how their midfield actually gels with their attack. How small movement that Pedri makes, or when Gavi plays, or when Pedri de Jong plays, they facilitate the attackers and let them flourish so much that they become even more devastating than they should look. So that's a point you have to consider when
Also,
it comes to Barcelona.
also how good our wingers have been pressing up front and also coming back and defending has also been like a really good thing I've seen in Barcelona because I think Lamine Yamal this season he's obviously so good in front of goal and all that, but his defensive attributes have not been looked upon because I think he loses the ball, then he runs back, gets the ball back, puts in a good tackle, and I think that is also a point that in favor of Barcelona. Even like Lewandowski also, he does his bits, running here and there. But
And
with
every shot,
Lewandowski, I will say that uh, I'll say that his hold up play also. I think I wouldn't say it was the best before, but it's like bad. Like considering sometimes he needs to drop in the midfield and get the ball, and that time his hold up play is bad. In certain games, he has his moments where his hold up play is really good. Like against the game in the Super Cup final against Real Madrid, he gave that assist to Lamine Yamal, if you all remember. It was a really good moment for him because he got the ball and he saw Yamal making the run and it was very good touch. So I think that is one moment of his that he had.
And just to shout out to Kubasi, I think he is the best young centre back talent. The passes that he can make are exceptional, and there is variety to those passes.
Talk to me about
Ground
it.
long passes, mid long passes, and long passes. He can do all of them. So that's
Mm.
an exceptional talent. And if Barcelona actually had Harry Kane in their team, I would put Barcelona as favorite for UCL.
That interesting point because I wanted to ask.
Interesting.
True.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I
Actually.
wanted to ask like would would Barca take Harry Kane over this one Leva in spite of Leva having a lot of UCL pedigree? I don't know because like you said Suarez dropping deep into the midfield. That's what Harry Kane does as well. So would you take that as an option, or would you like, still like you want somebody younger
At
and then
this
invest?
point, I'll take any center forward who can finish well. Genuinely speaking, because
This is disappointing to
I know
hear.
Levi scored 33 goals and all that, but like the amount of chances that are created by this team and the amount of
Mm,
chances they missed, it is
mm,
sad. Like because we've
mm,
had like 100 and something goals this season,
mm,
but the amount of chances we have created and the fact that Pedri has only 3 assists this season,
mm,
he has only 3 or 4 assists this season, which is shocking. It's shocking because the amount of chances he has created this season, it's
mm, mm,
I
it's
genuinely
mad.
think,
And I
Like
also think that Barca wingers has one of the highest expected assists in Europe as well
yeah,
in
mm,
terms
well,
of missing
mm,
naturally,
chances, right?
they're dangerous.
mm,
I
mm,
think if you guys somehow, some way manage to get Gyökeres out of Sporting, if Barca get Gyökeres, it's finished. It's finished. I'm
mm.
telling you.
I think if they
Barca
get
gonna win
Isak
everything.
also, it's done, bro.
No,
But
but
Isaac
Yeah,
is
if
injury prone
That's
though.
going to be the ultimate striker, I think.
yeah,
no,
both
but
of them.
if Isak comes, your financials will be like
Yeah,
it like
Gyökeres is a cheaper
That
option.
is true. 140 million is too much for us.
exactly. On top of that, his wages right now at Newcastle might be in what in
Yeah.
the mid
Saudi money, man.
150s.
Saudi money.
Yeah, exactly. Like, would you want? I don't know. I would still say like how Vardhan mentioned. I think Jokeris could be a better option for you guys than Isak. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Looking at the amount of money to be paid for
mm,
him, I think Jokovic would look. But also, there's a chance of signing Jonathan David, I think. He's for free
Don't.
transfer. So I think I'll take a Jonathan David. I don't mind. I mean, it's a free transfer. What's the
That is
worst
not
that could
your money,
happen?
bro.
Jonathan David, I don't know, man. Like I
I
think
know
if
him.
the,
Gyökeres is 10 times the player. Sorry.
in the last 3 4
Yeah,
years,
obviously it's 10 times the player, but it's 80 million also.
no,
But
I
I
think
think
Jokeris.
Gyökeres is also a bit overrated.
It's
I
like
watched
60,
Atlanta and
isn't it?
Sporting games, and he was handled really well by him. He has his
Mm,
movements, but he's not that kind of striker that has that X factor that a club like Barcelona deserves. Sesko has that. He's got amazing athletic body, amazing vertical jump. He can. His finishing is a bit questionable, but a striker that I absolutely fallen in love in that Roma versus Porto game was Samu. Samu is a proper striker. He just
mm.
He's
bullied
reading my
Evan
mind, bro.
Endika. Evan Endika was just bullied
He's
off
re-
ball. He's so
Mm,
powerful. 193, I don't know. And I
he's
don't think there's a defender who can actually bully Samu. He's
mm,
that good.
Bastoni.
I agree with this. I think both the options he has said, Sesko and
Samu.
Samu, I think both
Mm,
of them are too good. Too good. Like
mm,
I think Sesko I'd choose because of his long range abilities. This season, I think we have seen that we're not taking our chances from outside the box. He's one of those players who can do that for us. And Samu Omorodian, I think he's too good, man. He's like the he's only I think 20 years old, I think now,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
he's so
I don't
good.
know why Atletico sold him. And for
I
peanuts
swear, I
as well.
swear, man. He's yeah. I mean,
mm,
he's so good. Like he's fast, technical. He's so tall. He can out muscle any player on the pitch,
And
and his shot is
he's got a
so
good
good.
sense of jump as well. He's the vertical and
Agreed, man.
he jumps high and
Agreed.
reads the flight of the ball really well. He's athletically gifted. He has those acrobatic finishes in him as well. He's great on volley. He's great on finding channels in the box. He's a proper menace. You don't want to deal with him as
Proper,
a
yeah.
defender.
Like, but it all comes down to Barca, I think, right? How they do their business now. Let's see. So hope for the best.
Before we get into the predictions, we'll just take in few comments. For example, I think this is regarding the physicality. City versus Arsenal 5-1 was basically City's technical midfield versus our physical one, and we pumped them with these. It was men versus boys, no banter intended. It was just making a point.
Completely disagree. You're talking about a City's technical midfield who can't even walk, let alone run. This is not Pedri we're comparing them to. You will not beat Barca 5-1, just saying.
I mean, you could.
No, you
but
can't.
It's not gonna happen, but it could
Never.
happen. Like
Never.
See, I didn't expect Arsenal to score more than 2 goals against City, and we went ahead and scored 5. I'll never understand that game.
You do realize, bar the last 2 goals where City had completely given up, first 2 goals were a gift and had nothing to do with midfield, right? We have Edison and Ortega, 2 of the most useless people when it comes to doing anything in goal.
Fine.
Edison is everything but an actual keeper, just saying. Like,
let's
should
go,
be
Mark.
playing.
Love that.
Why? What? I feel that Barca nightmare would be teams like Inter, Arsenal, and
I
Atletico.
think like if Arsenal came against Barcelona, Barcelona would smoke Arsenal.
I think they would smoke Arsenal as well.
Destroy.
I agree to this, to be honest.
Because Arsenal are not offering any attacking threat. That's the difference between Arsenal and Inter. They might be good, and Atletico as well. Inter, Atletico have a threat when it comes to attacking and counter-attacking. Arsenal don't have that right now, and I'm not putting my money on Trossard, Sterling, and Maneri, any of those lot. Just saying, they're good, but they're not a striker.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to on this comment, I want to say something. So the last few seasons, Barca weren't doing well with the financial issues, with the manager transition and all that stuff. But the one thing they did right was keep investing into La Masia and just kept bringing in players. It was their financial issue kind of became a blessing in disguise in a way, because the amount of La Masia players in their team right now is so inspiring. Like, that is something I want Bayern to do. Just don't buy players well seasoned players for short term. Invest in your youth and make it a long
Bayern have an excellent youth setup.
But yeah, see, that's the problem. So what's happening is we have an excellent youth, but we are not pushing them into the main team. We still keep looking outside. So because of that, these youngsters
go for Barcelona as well.
No, but look at the ratio.
Integrate really well, but Atlanta brought a Barcelona left centre back for 2 million, who is an excellent player. He's playing for Atlanta under 23.
That's one person. See, they're letting go one person. In return, they get 4 people into their main team.
But that's Vincent Kompany's fault, isn't he? He doesn't use youngsters really well.
That's no. That's not the case. It's because the board is always going out to buy youngsters. I'm like, dude, it's fine if we play 10 bad games. Just use youngsters from Bayern Academy. That's what I'm trying to say. And they're not.
And you guys do have a brilliant. We stole Kenan Yildiz from you. I know Bayern have a fabulous youth academy, probably the second best in the world after Barcelona.
No. Not second and all.
Yeah.
I think City has a very good youth system. I wouldn't agree with that.
I think City goes under the radar.
City have an exceptional youth academy as well. I agree.
Bayern would
I think right now even Arsenal is coming up.
But
slowly
doesn't play the young youth system. Players from Arsenal have really good players at Arsenal, but Arteta doesn't play them.
Same with City. We have Foden and a few, but we've sold everyone else.
Coming back to that path point, he said he rates Casado really highly. All I'll tell him is to wait till Mark Bernal comes back from injury. He's exceptional, man.
Who?
Mark Bernal. He's currently got an ACL. He's only 17 years old, and he was dominating I wouldn't say dominating, but for a 17-year-old to do what he did, The beginning 3 games of the season was amazing, man. In a single pivot, that too. Screening and all
Barca
that. Crazy.
Barca is a midfield machine. They create midfielders. That's what they do. Even Nico Gonzalez, the guy we signed, he was a Barca La Masia talent. He's probably nowhere
Yes.
nearly as good as any of your current ones, but he can do a job. He's good at physical. I guess he was never asked to play a DM position, and he's more of a box to box guy. So we're waiting for Rodri to actually see Nico to actually play well.
The
He reminds me of Fabian
the
Ruiz.
problem
Actually.
with the problem with Nico Gonzalez was I think he played under Koeman, right? So Koeman was not he wasn't the best manager to manage the youngsters, I'd say, at that point of
Yeah.
time. The only thing he did was he got in Pedri to the first team, which was the amazing thing that he did. But then he also overplayed him, and then Pedri got injured. So yeah, I think that's it.
Also, just about Bayern's youth academy setup, you have a very good setup, but unlike most teams, Bayern's youth setup is the entire league. So
Thank
no
you.
matter
Yeah.
no matter what youth system any other team in Bundesliga has, Bayern will get them. So that's
And
But you
the
got
I wish they
Bischoff as
don't do
well.
that. I wish they
You
don't do
got
that.
Bischoff, one of the best German talent, Tom Bischoff.
yep.
Yeah.
And we let go of so many of those good talents, like so many.
Not to bring up Arsenal in, but I feel Rice would complete Barca's in on all fronts.
I think any
Oh, I
DM would
agree. I
complete
agree.
Barca on all fronts, who's defensively aware and strong. That's all.
Hmm.
But Rice is the best in terms of out of possession players. So he would actually be the monster in a Barcelona's midfield.
I still think Rodri would do a better job at Barca.
Would you sell
Rodri
him
would do
though?
a good job
Would
anyway,
you
bro.
sell him though?
Yeah, I mean, put
That's
Rodri in
that's
any
true.
team that excel, right?
Yeah.
I guess you're talking about
Exactly.
younger players, so maybe then Rice becomes a
I think
better.
like a Zubimendi
How
as well
old
could
is
do really well
Rice?
with Barca.
25, 26?
Pardon?
I think Zubimendi will do a good job at Barca as well.
Uh,
Yes, for sure.
there's a really good player in Valencia called Pepelu. He could do a job if someone actually looked at him properly. He is also a very good player. Barca will find a way, bro. Barca always finds a way. Barca has some amazing youth setup. Someone comes and like you thought Yamal would
Yeah.
have become what he become. Yamal is one of the best players in the world right now, and he's a kid, man. Like Barca is crazy, bro. Barca deserve it if they win everything this year. They absolutely deserve it. I've not had so much fun watching football teams play this year.
There is a
And
meme
Barca,
also, right, Vardhan? When Barca plays attractive football, you know football is healed again.
yeah, 100%, bro.
Right?
Like
Yeah.
Barca, I'm a City fan, but Barca has definitely given this
No,
game some of
this is
the
what I
best
find
moments.
interesting in our footballing world. Everybody will make fun of Barca when they lose. We'll make memes. We'll do all that stuff. We will not hold back. But the moment they start playing well, we also know how to appreciate it. I mean, I know Rahul wouldn't, but like others would like. Yeah.
No, I absolutely
Real
agree
Madrid
with
fan, I
you.
get it, but like
Barca has given football some of its best moments. Even like that bloody comeback against PSG a lot of years ago. Jesus, man. I was on a school trip. I remember it was the best
I
day of
was
my
in
life.
school.
Everyone was screaming,
I was in
screaming to
school.
the top of their lungs when Roberto scored. And bro, that is when I fell in love with Neymar, man. Neymar, bro, the prince who never became king, like literal definition. So apparently he might come back to Barca. There were rumors, but
I
Nah.
hope he doesn't. I hope he
hey,
doesn't.
don't do nah. Give him one good send
Even
off.
See,
I don't think
his
I'd
send
pick
off is
Neymar at
Santos.
Barca at this point.
Let him stay there.
let him
Did he
say
say
Yeah.
Santos.
Santos?
Yeah, he said Santos. I mean, he might
Come
transfer
back
to.
to Barca.
Yeah,
Right, right.
He's only on a
I
loan,
hmm.
right? Yeah.
Basically terminated his
Anyways,
contract in Saudi. But yeah,
Yeah, his
anyways,
contract in Saudi is terminated. So.
I don't think you
Anyways,
took this up, but I'm just gonna say a prediction for the Barca game. Or are you gonna do that after this?
we'll
Apart
do
from
it.
actually,
We'll just take like 2, 3, and
yeah,
then
yeah.
we'll go with everyone. Barca and Highland is a love story like Farhan. They're just beautiful at outset, but little at best. I have
Yeah,
no
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Good one.
Good one.
Good one, Dr. Vivek. Nice.
Arsenal's current team, and oh god,
I mean, we
yeah.
have to go off the current team, right? Because that's the team that's going to play the UCL next week, you know?
If you can't stay fit, you're not a part of the best 11, and that's the reality of football, in my opinion. You can always come and say that this would be our best 11. But if they're not in the best 11 and they're not healthy, they're not your best 11. Simple. I would keep putting John Stones in any centre back lineup I want because I know how exceptional he is. But because he never plays, I can't put him there.
City's academy gets overlooked. Rogers, Palmer,
100%.
100%.
Number 2 in my opinion.
Even Pedro Porro is City academy. I think.
Yeah, Pedro Porro is a City academy. Frimpong is a City academy player as well.
Even Lewis right now in Juventus. Even Lewis in
Sancho also.
Fraud.
The only exception is Sancho. Because,
Sancho.
Tosin Adarabayo is also a City player. There are quite a few ones spread around the league. I just think because Pep has always had good rosters in the recent memory, apart from this year, they haven't actually got a chance to play. McCarthy as well. I think he can do a lot, but I would use him in that swap deal. Well, not swap, but swap and money deal with Wirtz because Leverkusen really wants McCarthy apparently. I think it would be a good deal to do. So,
if Wirtz comes to City, right? Anyways, Barca.
Don't take away Germans to Premier League, please. Leave them alone.
I mean, Haaland deserves someone who can ping a ball over the top. I think I don't blame Haaland for City's current form. He's scoring goals despite us never utilizing what he does best. We don't do it. We don't let him. We don't give him a ball when he runs.
I think
Marmoush also likes
this
making
season.
runs. Yeah,
I think this season Haaland is like the more improved striker. I think because like even though he scored so many goals previous seasons, I think he's improved his game, is leveled up like. But the problem is this season Man City have not been the best. So like it falls upon him then as a striker.
I mean, look at his wingers. You have Savinho and Doku, who both have no end product. They can dribble a ball up and down the wing, but they can't actually do anything once they get into the final third, Like maybe 1 or 2 goals here and there, but there's no consistent output from the two wingers to service the ball into Haaland,
I think Doku has a high ceiling. I think that part of his game can definitely change. And I will say he does put in a lot of good balls down the middle. It's just that I also feel like Haaland has not done Doku a lot of justice because he misses almost every chance that Doku makes for whatever reason, even if it's a tap in. So Doku's numbers are a bit flawed, I would say. He has potential. Savinho, on the other hand, he's young. I hope he improves, but he wears 26. And if you're going to wear 26, which is Riyad Mahrez, you better score because Mahrez would do that. Mahrez would bang everything in. So, but again, Mahrez was in his prime when he came to City. I can't compare them.
Let's come back to the same thing. We'll talk about Premier League in the end. You guys can, whatever.
Okay.
This one, last comment before we go to prediction. Barca breaking low blocks is a treat to watch, exploring tight spaces. Explosive wingers with brilliant 1v1 ability and vision that midfield has.
Nice.
I think we're all going
summary.
to fall in
Nice
love with
summary.
Barca. Yeah, except Rahul. But anyways, we'll come to predictions. Ainsley, what is your prediction? Or 2 legs?
I'd say the first leg I think will be a draw, 1-1. And second leg, Barca go through, I think 2-0.
Okay.
2-0 to Barca.
So 3.
What are your predictions?
I think at Bayern, I'm sorry, at Benfica, Barca win 3-1, and at home they win 4-1, 4-0 maybe. I think they'll smoke them. No chance.
Okay. James?
I think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's one of those things where again you have to outscore to win the game. I think Barca are going to go through just because of the firepower they have. Yamal, Rafinha, blah blah blah. So it's going to be Benfica is going to be like I think it's going to be like a 5-2, and then home's going to be like 4-0 or something. Barca's going to go through easy.
Vignesh, what about you?
Yeah, so my prediction is built on the comment I made initially about Barca. It's like, hey, are you going to score 4 goals against me? Please go for it. I'm going to score 10 or 9, right? So it's going to be a high-scoring game, but Barca will go through just massive amount of goals, I feel, across. Yeah.
Rahul, what about you?
Firstly, I would like to clarify that I also appreciate Barcelona, man.
No, I know you appreciate, bro. What I meant was you're a Real Madrid fan, so you are engineered to hate them. Like that's if you start liking.
Why would I be engineered to hate somebody?
Because you're a Real Madrid fan.
Yeah, bro, he's not a sadist. What are you saying, bro? You're calling him a sadist.
No, see, one of my favorite things is to watch the Real Barca fan like the back and forth, right? So when
Go
you
back and
are
forth. Yeah.
talking so nicely and favorable, it's so weird to me. That's why I made that comment.
Oh, Fulham is winning, by the way.
I know you
Uh-huh.
respect their gameplay and all that, of course. Like that just
Hmm.
shows you are a very good football fan who can appreciate talent and quality. But at the same time, you're a Real Madrid fan, so give jabs once in a while. It's always good to have that.
But I do think that Barcelona will win this game.
Hmm.
They just have that quality over Benfica, and Benfica are
Yes,
dealing with a lot of injury issues as well.
Hmm.
Even if they were healthy, they're never beating Barca. That's just my opinion. Even when Barca had the worst possible game, they somehow managed to win against Benfica. I don't think
yeah,
Barca can possibly play
that's
as
an
bad as they did that day.
That's an
So
important point to note. Although Benfica
yeah,
were leading 3-0
Yeah,
or
I
3-1
think,
or something, they still came back and scored five. Like
yeah,
that's
Hmm.
that's what I'm
important to
saying.
note there.
and
Like you
also,
won't
Hmm.
see them
also
scoring
I
more.
think in that game, I think two of the goals were like a given to them because of goalkeeper errors also. So
Yes.
that is
Yeah,
also a point.
and your
Hmm.
goalkeeper's gotten better now, so he's been more aligned to the team.
Yeah,
So
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
Chesney back from retirement.
he made a few mistakes in his first few games as well, to be honest with you,
Ooh,
but he's looked
I,
a lot
I,
more stable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think few is an understatement.
Bro,
The
Chesney
reason
is
he made
he's
mistakes was he's never a goalkeeper that comes out of his line to kick a ball to
yeah,
the
he's a short
wingers,
stopper.
right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Mhm.
yeah. So
That's
obviously
not
it
his.
was going to happen.
Hmm.
It took
I
As,
it took his time to
as
adjust to that tactic. Now he's
yeah,
doing it really.
Hmm. I weirdly feel Benfica will win. No logic, just UCL magic.
nah,
Just
bro,
UCL. Just
there is no
That
magic.
No,
would be a
There's no magic.
shock. That would be the
that's Arsenal
greatest shock
delusion
ever.
right
Like,
there.
what?
I'd
Never
be
happened.
crying, bro.
UCL
Because
magic
like
would be
this is,
Barca winning
I
it.
won't say it's easy. I
Hmm.
won't say it's easy, but this is the best chance we have to get to the finals. I'd say
Hmm.
like fluke or something. Small chance is
Hmm.
there, like 10% chance. So
Hmm.
let's see.
But I don't think anyone is putting Barca that low, though. I don't know why you are. I think a lot of people expect Barca to be a favorite this year just because of how they've been playing. And if
Hmm.
there is one team I
Not
think
not
Real Madrid don't want to face, it probably be Barca as well. They've shown them
Hmm.
this season twice already.
that I
Hmm.
agree.
Hmm. Okay.
And Real
But
Madrid is
the thing is not
engineered to go offside against a team like that. They love going offside.
Hmm.
And their
no,
defense
but
is
like the
horrible.
thing I'm trying to say here is that not all people who are saying that Barca is going to win are Barca fans. So I've lived to the through the trauma and all that. So I have like low expectation in
uh,
the UCL.
That I
That
get.
is
I
the
get.
point I'm trying to make over here.
as long as see, I'll tell you against Benfica, as long as there are no blunders made, it's clean. I think it's clear.
I think the biggest hurdle for Barca is going to be Inter, to be honest, more than anything else.
Inter would be a hurdle for any team, though, Jay. I
Pretty
think
much, yeah.
no one wants to
Yeah,
Hmm.
play
my
Inter.
God.
Hmm.
Let's be honest, no one wants to play Inter.
So, so, well, a team that everyone wants to play right now is my team, Arsenal. Where do I begin? Do I start talking about the fact that we don't have a front line, or do I start talking about the fact that we had an entire winter window and it invested nothing in spite of losing all our players? Right.
They're both
Uh,
related, though, Sachin.
yeah. I do not know where to start. Like, do I know PSV are playing well only because I just know that they're doing well because they beat Juventus. But is Juventus good from the way Rahul talks in the group chat? Not so much. But did PSG have enough in them to beat Juventus on paper? I don't think so. But things have happened. You said magic had happened. Um, I can't even talk from a tactical point because I don't know because if you watch the game Arsenal played against West Ham, no, not West Ham. Who did we play last? I forgot. I think that I've not even watched Arsenal's last game like fully. I had to like go back and then watch the highlights and all of that. But if I go to Arsenal's last game, which is against Nottingham Forest, right? Um, the best moment came when Carlo Fury, a left back, went into the box, did a shimmy, and took a shot with his right foot. That was the best moment from a left back. I do not know where to start. I really do not know where to start. Like, I'm not even eager. to watch an Arsenal game anymore. It's more like out of habit I'm watching Arsenal because I watched so far. I might as well watch till the very end and just support the team however they are, but I do not know. I, in the starting of the season, I said Arsenal will win the league unless something catastrophic happens. Catastrophic has happened. It's absolute bullshit that has gone on all fronts. So I don't know, man. I don't
I
know.
think the funniest thing is going to be Perisic going to come and dunk on Arsenal. Will be the
You
biggest.
know, my prediction for this game is that we're going to like lose over 2 legs. If we win, I would take it. But again,
Wait, PSV or Arsenal going to lose?
Arsenal, like over two
Oh.
legs, I think Arsenal will not make it through. We don't have enough firepower in us to beat PSV over 2 legs and then play on the weekend as well. I don't think we have it in us because right now we're playing Merino as a starting center forward, not even as a super sub. So that answers most of the questions whether Arsenal will do a number on PSV or even like do something to PSV. If you can't beat a team like Nottingham Forest or a West Ham team that has just got spotted, I do not think we have it in us to beat PSV, who are on some or probably in a very good high after beating Juventus. And I don't know what their league forms are. Are they good in their league
They're
form?
second.
Let me
So
get.
I was just looking through that now. They're second in
Mm-hmm.
the league, 8 points
Mm-hmm.
behind the number one team, right? I looked at
Mm-hmm.
all their scores right now and like when they're scoring. What I noticed is they're really good at holding their defense. Like they've conceded the least amount of goals in the league. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. When they don't score, it's almost like the opponent gets the goals in counterattacks. They get very what is the word? Restless if they're not able to get a quick goal. So they're looking for that. So I think what Arsenal need to do in order to progress is to absorb their pressure. Let them do their thing. Let's give them space, give them their space first. And then once they start to get comfortable, they think like, yeah, we are controlling the ball. It's our game. That's when Arsenal start to take risks. So I think that is going to be a key factor. Which team takes risk? Like you have to take that step. I know, you're missing your main attack and all that stuff, but like the midfield need to put that long ball or just like take a huge risk in the game. And that would kind of help you to your advantage.
Mhm. The one thing with UCL is that teams don't sit back against Arsenal, at least in the European games. So
Mm.
because of that, will we be more fluid? Probably. But do we have the team to like play that fluid attacking football that we are really good at? We don't have that thing because right now you have Odegaard dropping deep. You have Merino who is not able to uh, play a long game. Like he's not able to like do the shift, like go up, stay front. I mean, stay front, stay fall into the midfield, go to the left, go to. He's not able to do that. It takes time to like get back his stamina, or maybe he doesn't have the tank in him, like how Havertz has it. Like because Havertz, I think people really don't appreciate Havertz for the things that he does for Arsenal. He's not a clinical striker. He's not even a striker. But if you see Havertz play, just focus just on Havertz. You see him as a striker, center forward, left wing, right wing, in defense, as a center mid. Sometimes even he comes into defense while defending. So he does a lot of work, and we're missing that kind of person up front. Because initially, when Havertz was still part of the team or still fit enough to play, most of our play used to be a long ball pinging to Havertz where he gets it and then lays it off to one of the players around him, and that's how we build. Right now, we are lacking from that.
Mm-hmm.
Are we transitioning well from defense to attack? Not defense, not efficiently as well. We're having moments, and the fact that Arsenal fans are like going against every player who's done really, really well till now is honestly very sad. The club captain Odegaard, I know he's in shit form, but having seen the team, what can he do? It's like expecting KDB to do something at Southampton. It's not going to happen.
But
It's not
also,
going to
with
happen.
if PSV set up in a mid block, like we've seen Arsenal when they've dropped points this game, it's finished. Arsenal will
Mm,
not go into a mid block with
mm,
their
mm,
team at
mm,
the moment.
mm,
And also, Arsenal are very open in transition as well. Like
mhm,
they have the centre backs, but the wingers, the pace. Calafiori's got no pace. Timber's
mm,
got no pace. Ben White maybe he's got some pace.
mm,
MLS again, young kid UCL under 16.
mm.
Those channels are open for PSV's wingers and fullbacks to attack. Like Perisic and
PSG's wing who Arsenal were linked with 2 seasons back. I remember really well. I think he was at Club Brugge before PSG. His name is Nolang, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Nolang. He was at Club Brugge. He was one of Arsenal's targets, but we didn't get him. And I think he was one of the key players against this one. You against Juventus as well. And then you have Perisic. You have even like I know Luke De Jong is not that great, but when it comes to clutch moments, he's always like the man. Like I think as a Barca fan, you would know this as well. Like when he was at when he was at Barca under Koeman, he was one of the clutch players, if I'm not wrong. So
They also have Bakayoko as well, PSV. Can't forget about
yeah.
him as well. He's quite a big threat as well.
Hmm. That's all. So I can't find an answer on why Arsenal could beat PSV. I can find all the reasons why we win. Probably I'm lacking in my depth regarding the knowledge regarding how to break down PSV. I do not know, but if yes, I don't know, man. Yeah. Oh, if you guys have something to let me know as well, because I'm completely lost for words.
You have to. This is a common thing I noticed with Dutch teams. You have to make them restless.
Mm.
Dutch teams, you got to make them very restless. You got to make them feel uncomfortable. So that's why I said the risk factor. Arsenal needs to take that risk. They're like, yeah, okay, fine. We may not be the favorites to win this, or like, let's say they lose. It's fine, right? So what? Like, take that risk. I think that's going to make a big difference. So, especially because you don't have your regular starters in your attack. That's why. So,
see, if he had even like one of them, if he had just Martinelli or just Saka or just Havertz, I would say that we still are favorites to win. But right now we're missing all three of them. And is Prasad good enough? Yes, but he's just picking up form like just now. But he's not been the same. He's not been in the same clutch form that he was last season. Last season, I think, as a Bayern fan, you would know that as well. He was the one who scored that equalizer at Emirates. He had that clutch instinct in him, but then when it came to this season, he's been so poor. And then you had Veneri, who was like 17 years old. Expecting anything from him is like bizarre. And then you have Sterling. He's probably on steroids and asthma pills or whatever, and still can't do shit to the player. That's what it is. Yeah. What are my predictions? I can go. I can go straight to predictions if you guys have nothing to talk about regarding Arsenal, because just sad at this point.
for me, Odegaard is going to be the game changer. I think his performance, if he can really stand up and step it up as a captain, I think they'll win it. They'll win it. I don't see.
I mean, he shouldn't do it. Remember the game from, was it West Ham, where he ran on the transition? He ran away from the ball. Sujit, I think, was it West Ham he did that, or Nottingham Forest he did that? And if he drops a stinker like that again, it's, as Vignesh said, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Probably he's trying to play that centre forward role, trying to like attract defenders with him or something. But I don't know, man. It's just Rahul, do you have something to say? I think you unmuted yourself.
No, I agree with Vignesh here. Great points. Firstly, Odegaard is the key player because he can make that settled Dutch setup kind of falter, right? Because if you let a team like PSV settle into the game, they've got a very stable midfield who can kind of like, they can do everything, but not on an exceptional level, on a low level. Their centre back partnership is actually really good because Boss Kagli, I think that's the pronunciation, is a brilliant ball player. He can ping passes all around the park. And Ryan Flamingo, his positioning and anticipation is really good. So that they work in a very good tandem with each other. Up front, they've got that young flair and experience with Perisic, Lang, Saibari, and Luke De Jong. So it's a team that can threaten Arsenal and potentially knock them out. It's a trap game for Arteta, and Arteta European pedigree has been here and there. You can't put your bet on it that Arsenal will win. Last season's Porto match come to mind where Francesco Consider set up a trap and the game went into the penalties. So PSV can play that as well. They've got a lot of iterations to their formation and play styles in a game, but they changed their coach, so I don't know how the new coach would do. That's one thing, but Arsenal should win. You got the quality to compete and win, but if the team doesn't respond to Arteta or gets under pressure, then you'll get knocked out. Like I saw Juventus get under pressure by PSV, and I knew the game was done. I saw Thiago Motta make absolute shit show of tactical substitution one after the other. Our defense is injury prone. Our defense is decimated by injury. That is true. Vega got injured in the second leg in 10 minutes in, and we had to play Kelly at the left centre back. I don't know why we signed this player Lloyd Kelly from Newcastle in the first place,
mm,
and he made horrible mistakes in the first leg as well. So,
mm,
but if you let PSG play their game, their usual play style, or let them settle into the game, they will pile
mm,
goals on you. They
mm,
got goals in them, so that's one thing Arsenal need to be very about. But what Arsenal MSP in this game is that you got a really good defense. So if they
mm,
don't break you and they get restless because they have to score, you
mm,
will win this game.
mm. We'll take a few comments as well. Nolan is techie, true.
Agree.
Bakayoko, oh my God,
I
yeah.
actually gonna say no one mentioned Bakayoko or Veerman. Veerman
Mm,
is a physical midfielder,
mm,
kind of like a box to box, and
mm,
I think it was really good when he played for Netherlands. He had a couple dodgy games.
mm,
Reinders is still the better player. He's
mm,
twice the player
mm,
Veerman is, but
mm,
he's still a very good player. Bakayoko is the danger, I think. I don't know who's
mm.
gonna play left back for you guys, but whoever is, they're gonna have a hard time against Bakayoko.
That is our state right now. Vignesh, you don't know the conversation about Odegaard. Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's so sad to hear. Last year when you guys played Bayern, I just loved him. I absolutely love Martin Odegaard. Like he's one of my
Mm.
favorite players ever. Like
Do you think he hides from the ball sometimes, though? I think he does.
I agree.
Of course, we do.
He's the
Yeah,
kind of player who will walk the ball to you. He won't
yeah,
pass the ball to you, if that makes
Mm,
sense.
yeah.
mm,
He's a good player, though. I think
mm.
he's Arsenal's best player. It's not Saka. That's just my opinion.
You will be surprised. He's been
Yeah.
touted to be our worst player recently. Yep. Yeah.
Recently, yes, but bias can get to the best of people, right? So
Mm,
whatever.
mm.
I think your
Form is
worst player.
temporary,
I
class
think
is
your worst
permanent.
player is Sterling. To be honest,
Is who?
Sterling.
Yeah, Sterling is the worst player.
We don't cut. It's more like helping out old age people like get through life, help them
And
enjoy.
Sterling is actually an interesting one because as a City fan, I choose not to disrespect him a lot. But the only thing I will say about Sterling is he scored a lot of goals for City and he's come in clutch during moments, but he's also lost us a lot of games because of his bad finishing.
Mhm.
And if
Mhm,
it wasn't for some of the people who were at City, like Gabriel
mm,
Jesus, like Sterling, like
mm,
the inconsistent finishing that we had, De
mm,
Bruyne would have been very close to that record of assists by now.
mm, mm, mm.
It's just sad that he had to put up with those shit finishers.
And
Anyways, it's yeah.
Jamie Carragher's sentence comes to mind: "Leave the football before the football
Yeah,
leaves you."
yeah,
Yeah.
true. We don't attack unless the opponent's defense is settled. That is, see, I'm genuinely sweating out of anxiety. I'm not even kidding.
But you,
Yeah, you're saying?
I know if you go back, I don't know what comment it was, but I don't know about defense settling. I don't think you're capable of. That's the problem at the moment. It's not that you don't try
Mm,
to.
mm,
You
mm,
will
mm,
pass it around, and a lot of people like, oh, we're not doing this. You just don't have the player to do it. It's not about whether you can or cannot. You can't. Simple.
mhm,
You can't.
mhm,
You need
mhm.
someone up. Now, I don't know if you bring someone in from the academy. Already sold the guy who came through and get here. But if you find another, even there was one more Balogun also you sold. Like so, whatever. Like you're not keeping your strikers from academy, so you won't have a backup only. It's your
Yeah,
fault. It's your
exactly. The
fault.
board, like, and I thought the board after selling Eddie would sign a striker as a backup, but we didn't sign a striker, and that is costing us dearly and yeah, miserably. I guess starting first, no matter how good we were tactically, it never looked like we would score. Same for the case of West Ham, except we were shit. Sorry, shite. Raheem Sterling is a false player, at least at Arsenal. Yeah.
He was a
Well,
false player for a lot of teams. Just
yeah.
saying.
Yep.
Um,
My predictions: Arsenal would lose over two legs. Maybe we would win at the Emirates, but over two legs, I think we would like bow out of the UCL. What about you guys? What do you guys think?
I
I
go
think
on,
Arsenal
Vignesh.
make it through, man. I think it'll be I feel like it's gonna be like that Porto thing. It'll go to extra time and stuff, but I think they make it through.
Oh, if you're going to extra time,
I I think that Arsenal might go through on penalties if they're able to keep the tie
Uh,
nil-nil over both the
same vibe.
legs.
I'm getting a very penalty vibe from this
I
game.
have I have a feeling that Arsenal will go through on penalties, but the game will either be 1-1 or 2-2 or across both the legs, or 0-0
Yeah,
maybe across both the legs. And then they'll go through on penalties,
that's a nice
Arsenal.
prediction from
And then
Parth.
they'll face Madrid.
Nice prediction from Parth. I
I
see that
think it's
also
going to
happening.
be a
Draw
very
at,
low
at
score.
PSV and win at Emirates. Very possible. Very possible.
It's going to be a
Wow.
very low scoring
True,
tie,
true, I
and
think.
not tie, like match in both legs. I think Arsenal will go through on penalties as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Porto again, isn't it? Pretty
Yeah.
much.
What the?
I don't know, honestly, with Arsenal right now. It's like they can pull up with a performance that like is anti to everything they've been doing so far and actually end up scoring goals. So I don't know what to expect for Arsenal. I think Arsenal will win, but I have a very strange feeling PSV will go through. Only because of some of those players that have been very clinical for PSV this season. I think there is a chance there. So it's there's no point writing PSV off. I think it's gonna be a draw at the Emirates and a win, a very marginal win for PSV at their home. I think that's how it's gonna be. But I'm probably
Raj,
gonna be wrong. I think I expect Arsenal to go through. Everyone does.
not me. Anyways, Rahul, final prediction before we go to the main
Arsenal
one.
win 5-0 over 2 legs. Let's go.
Fair enough. Very possible that as well.
You have no shame. What did you find in it?
No, see, Rahul is not wrong. In order for what Rahul predicted to happen, Odegaard needs to show up. He shows up, it's over, man. It's over.
Oh, I got another Odegaard fan. Thank you.
Yeah, I really like him. Like I really
I don't think him showing up will say it's over. I just think they'll end up scoring, and which is enough for them to win. I don't think it's over if Odegaard shows up. He's not freaking Neymar or anything else.
And also, no matter what happens, next round Arsenal going out either way. They're playing Atleti or Real, so it's not.
Yeah, I don't think they would beat Atleti or Real.
Yeah, they're not going through. Anyway.
Actually, Real, they could beat Real. I mean, I don't know, man.
We'll come there. We'll come there.
They have a good defense.
That's the Arsenal side. I know some people are staying beyond their bedtime. If you guys want to leave, more than happy. Thank you so much for coming on the stream. All the concurrent viewers as well. Thank you so much for being on stream so far. We still have the message section, but if you guys want to leave, definitely you can. Jay and Ainsley want to leave, right?
Yeah, I need to go. It's like 2 a.m.
Yeah, I know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You guys, good
Again,
chat.
Yeah,
we'll definitely
chat,
link up after the
Nice
fast
meeting
one.
you.
No worries.
Yeah. And you, Ainsley, even you're leaving?
You're on
You
mute.
muted, you muted yourself, buddy. You muted yourself.
Sorry. Madrid we are talking about right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll wait for Madrid part.
Okay,
Fine,
go on then, Rahul.
Okay.
The
Yeah, the
UA
main
fan.
man. Yes, Madrid. The Madrid derby.
Ooh.
Wait, can I just clarify before anything else? Are you Juve fan first or Real fan first, Rahul?
I actually became a Real Madrid fan first in 2013. I was actually contemplating between Real and Barcelona. At the end,
So
because of Gareth Bale, I became a Real Madrid fan.
Right, so if this is Champions League final and Juve and Real are playing, who are you supporting?
It depends. Just because
No,
it was
you have to give me one
Buffon-
answer, bro.
No, it depends. It depends.
Whoever is a better team, I guess at that point of time.
Yeah, I'm happy either way in the end. It has happened
Okay.
in 2018, I think, or
I
2017.
think
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
Vardhan was asking. Like, who did you support then?
Oh,
Yeah.
Buffon. At that point, Buffon. So Juventus.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he seems to be a lot more knowledgeable about the Serie A stuff, so I'm gonna assume you're a Juve fan over a Real Madrid fan.
So
But
I watch Serie A a lot more than La Liga.
Okay.
I mean, naturally, La Liga is that's the worst refereeing league in the league in the world right now. Worst. Premier League is not even.
That's only being said because this season there have been some bad refereeing calls. Also,
In all
otherwise
teams.
also it's not the best. But yeah, in all teams in general, like you cannot single out a team, I think, in La Liga that have got bad refereeing calls. Also, I
Yeah.
had read a stat that said there were only one or two referees called up to the Euros from Spain or something like that. So it just speaks volumes, like that the referees, like they are not good enough.
Mm. Mm.
All right, Rahul, fair enough. Up to
Yeah,
your.
Merit was the Merit Harvey. What's up?
Firstly, what's funny about my footballing journey is the first player I was ever acquainted with was actually Thierry Henry, and just because he was so fast, I became a Gareth Bale fan. And my favorite player of all time is Maldini, but that's a whole story around it. So let's talk about
I
the tie here.
He's one of
Yeah.
my top
So,
players as well, Maldini. What a player, man. Anyways,
so this is actually one team I did not want to face in UCL this season, even more than
Mm.
Barcelona. And
Mm.
Barcelona works really well against us
Mm.
just because of how they set up. And I think Simeone has got the better of Ancelotti over past 3 seasons.
Mm.
We are a movement FC, but how Atletico play, they cancel any movement.
Mm.
So they'll force you to play a game that needs to be, you need to be settled into it, and you to create chances after chances after chances,
Mm.
but through the midfield. You can't rely on your attackers too much because they can cancel out that with their defensive structure. And we rely on our attackers more than our midfield.
Mm.
While Barcelona is the opposite, that's why Barcelona absolutely slaughter them each time they play. So this is one, and how our season has panned up so far.
Mm.
We haven't played really well across
Mm.
any stretch of a long stretch of games, say 7 or 8.
Mm.
We have fallen off either in UCL or La Liga. So that continuous stretch of spark, I haven't seen it.
Mm.
The only reason I am confident about this tie is because it is a UCL game, and I don't know why Real Madrid kind of shows up in UCL even when we are not performing in the league. So the players suddenly start going up a level or two than their usual self. If our
Mm.
injuries if our injuries are not an issue, if Valverde plays, especially if Valverde plays, I think we'll win this leg straight
Mm.
up. If he plays two games with 100% fitness, we'll win this.
Mm.
No matter he plays at right back or center mid. This is one
Great.
thing. Atletico, how they have played this season is actually really brilliant. I think they went on a run which was like 14 or 15 games with continuous win.
Mm.
So that they are actually a scary team.
Mm. Mm.
Mbappe show coming. Hopefully, man. Hopefully, he scores an hat trick against Atletico Madrid as well. If it was Ronaldo in that period, I would be really confident about this start because he always
Mm.
showed up against Atletico.
Mm.
How did Mbappe play last time we played Atletico? I don't think it was that good.
you've
Mm.
not beat Atletico this season yet, have you? I don't think you
Mm.
have.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, if you've not beat them,
No,
I'm
no,
sure
they haven't beat
Atletico.
Atletico this season.
Yeah,
Both the games ended in draws, I think.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
United
1-1 was
scored,
the last
man.
match. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's why I'm not
1-1.
confident
There was
against
that
Atletico, but just because
controversial
it's
refereeing
UCL.
decision.
Mm.
Yeah, you
Mm.
could say that.
I was just drawing like interesting parallels between like Real Madrid and Bayern because we have a similar situation with Leverkusen, right? Historically, we've cooked them, but in the recent times, we are not able to beat. And I think it's
Mm.
similar with Real Atletico because,
Mm.
like, actually, it's just for context, Vardhan and I have been having a back and forth thing about how he says Atletico was going through, but I kept saying, like, no, Real Madrid, like, I don't see them losing to Atletico in a Champions League game. Like, I just don't see
Mm.
that. I'm not able to
Yeah,
see it,
just
right?
because it's a Champions League game and not a La Liga game, I agree. I
Exactly.
agree.
Yeah,
That
but
is my
reason
hope.
form wise, you have to give credit to Atletico as well. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they have been
very
brilliant.
interesting fixture for sure.
Mm. Mm.
The only reason I say that, I just feel like Madrid are due a loss somewhere, the way they've been playing. But
Yeah,
The
yeah.
last
given
four
the
games
black,
we have not won.
They lost to the goat, right, Anthony? They
I'm
lost.
not talking about La Liga, bro. Who cares about La Liga? I never said they were gonna win it this year. I didn't think they would have, at least.
Mm. 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 Mm.
That's the problem,
Well,
isn't it? They're a different team in the Champions League. Not
Exactly.
necessarily that they play better, but something just happens and they win.
Yeah.
That's
It's
Real
I think
Madrid.
it's part of the Real Madrid job description. The
Yeah,
day Florentino Perez hands you the kit with your number, it's understood that you show up on UCL night or you don't play for us. I think that's like the law of their
If
game.
nothing pans out, we'll call the referee before the game to the sidelines and be like, please.
Yeah, please.
No,
uh,
but I think what Vignesh said, I think is true because last season I remember Real Madrid won the game against Bayern, and the player that came in clutch was Joselu. If you
Joselu,
remember,
right?
Possible.
He's
Joselu came in
expected.
clutch,
I
and
thought I thought Guinea will
that
score
guy
or something, but
No, and that guy, like in the La Liga, people hated him, bro. They were like,
Okay.
Joselu out. He's so useless. He's so bad. He can't do this. He can't do that. And then he went on and he scored the goals in the UCL. So that is part of Real Madrid man.
the
DNA.
Yeah, that
DNA,
Bayern
that's the
game made
DNA.
him a cult figure.
Yeah. And him
Exactly.
scoring that winning goal in the UCL final also made him like he's the one right who scored the UCL final winner.
Vinny
Carvajal.
scored and
Carvajal and
Rodrigo.
Vinny. Carvajal.
Carvajal,
Carvajal of
Vinny.
Bayern.
Yeah. Correct.
Oh,
Carvajal and Vinny.
okay.
Yes.
No, sorry. For some reason I don't possible, but I think it was the Bayern game. Yeah.
The Bayern gamer, he scored a brace.
Uh, mm-hmm. Yeah. It just yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's the UCL game, right? So can we really depend on Atletico to do something? I don't think so. I really don't think so.
If
I know.
Asensio plays, I am more confident than I was if he doesn't play. Right? Because I
Mm-hmm.
really like him as a defender. Let's
Mm.
not talk about his off-field issues. That's a separate matter.
Yeah. Yep.
But his quality is he's good on the ball. He has
Mm-hmm.
got good anticipation. He'll hound down an attacker, which is very rare for defenders to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even Hoyson doesn't do that. He won't hound down an attacker. He'll man
Mm-hmm.
mark him, and Asensio does both. So that's
Mm-hmm.
where he edges him out. But Hoyson
Mm-hmm.
is very good in the air, so that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
I want Hoyson to join Real Madrid. That's my dream signing more
oh,
than
you're
Saliba.
talking about the Bournemouth player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, nice penalty miss yesterday, but everything else is fine. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Um.
100%.
Yeah.
I
For sure.
think
Oh,
For sure.
Wonders can
definitely.
be
The
Wonders
away
gonna be.
leg will be very tricky. If we do well in the away leg,
Mm.
Which
then
one's
we'll win.
first?
Which leg is
Which
first?
one's
I
first?
don't know.
Home leg first.
Oh, that's good for Atletico though. If they can even scrape out a draw, it's good for them in the first leg.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyways,
Thing
I
about
think we have.
Atletico,
Mm.
thing about Atletico is that in knockout or cup games, I mean in La Liga, they are good. Like defensively also they play well, they're solid. They get like a 1-0, 2-0 victory. But when it comes to cup games, right, what I've noticed is they concede a lot of goals. Also talking about the centre back partnership, they have Clément Longley as the centre back.
Mm. Mm.
So I don't know. I'm not going to trust Clément Longley in terms of like winning all the winning Atletico Madrid the UCL or taking them ahead against
Mm.
Real Madrid because
Mm.
considering the quality that Madrid got in terms of Mbappe, Vinicius, and all of these guys, Bellingham also will be back. So I don't see them. I don't see Atletico Madrid going through. However, they can
Mm.
cause an upset. I'd say.
Mm. Yeah. We'll go straight into the predictions. We're already like too late. There's not much comments as well, so we'll start with your Rahul predictions over two legs. What do you think?
Real Madrid wins 4-2.
Crazy. Ainsley, we'll go with Ainsley. We'll go with Vardhan and Vignesh next. But Ainsley, what are your predictions?
Uh,
Um,
I'm saying
oh yeah.
Real Madrid will go through 3-0 across both the legs.
Okay. Vardhan?
I think Atletico goes through by 1 goal margin. I don't know what the score line's gonna be, but I think by 1 goal margin, Atletico will go through.
Hmm.
Alvarez will score.
Vignesh, do you?
Um, I don't know. Like I know I still low key think Real Madrid will go through. What will happen is Atletico is gonna fight till like the 89th, 90th minute, and then Real will just hammer the game down in like 2 minutes. They just change the atmosphere completely. So it's gonna be a close one though. And for me, the key players for I think Real Madrid, I think Mbappe is gonna show up for sure. I think it's Mbappe. And for Atletico, I think it's going to be Alvarez.
Okay. I think Gallagher will be a very nice
Gallagher.
player Gallagher, like again, Gallagher against this one. Real Madrid's midfield. Like I think that'll be a nice matchup to like look into because
Sorloth, they have a nice super sub. Like Sorloth comes in and he's like doing crazy stuff, right?
Yeah,
Alexander Sorloth. So I think, yeah.
To be fair, the Diego Simeone's substitutions this time have been this season especially has been his like special trait, I'd say, because every time he's brought on players like Sorloth or Correa, or he gets in even Llorente some games, they come on and do something in the game. They give an assist or they provide a goal. So his substitutions have been very good, and I'd draw this to the fact of where I think you all said that Inzaghi's substitutions weren't good enough. This is like the polar opposite, I'd say.
We have one last problem. Rodrigo in Champions League, different player. I hope he scores.
Underrated. Even Thierry Henry said this after the City game. The work rate which Rodrigo has is absolutely phenomenal. He goes under the radar because Vinny is there, Bellingham is there, Mbappe is there and stuff. But yeah, too good. Rodrigo's too good.
Yep. Well, guys, that is our roundup regarding the UCL. Will we link up after the first round? Stay tuned. We'll definitely let you know. Any final words from the panel or the chat who's been there since the start of the stream? It's been 2 hours, 36 minutes. I genuinely thought maximum 1.5 hours, but it's been 2 hours, 36 minutes. Any final words, guys? Nothing?
All good.
No, nothing much. I think this is going to be a very interesting.
Let's win the UCL, and more importantly, let's hope India wins the Champions Trophy.
I know. We're playing Australia day after tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, but they're BBL All Stars. That's not a good team.
Huh?
Big Bash players, man. There's no Stark, there's no Hazelwood, there's no Cummins.
But they find a way. Australia finds a way.
As long as Travis Head is there, India should not be confident.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Smith is a tricky captain, though, on spinning pitches specifically. So.
Let's see. I think the expectation is that we are favorites, but we'll see.
Thanks, Parth. Appreciate it.
Yep, it was a lovely and insightful stream. Yep, it was chill. I think it was a little bit too chill. That's why it went 2 hours, 37 minutes. But yeah.
Hey, stop criticizing. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it, but I just kind of feel bad for James because James and Ainsley and Rahul, because I told them it'll be maximum 1.5 hours. And yeah, right now they're in India. Ainsley and Rahul are in India. And tomorrow is a working day.
I kind of missed the game today, so.
Oh yeah,
no, that's against Roma, I think. That's good.
Anyways, thank you so much, guys. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for being part of the panel, and thank you so much for all the concurrent viewers out there and getting involved in the conversation. We'll see you guys soon. Till then, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you're in the world. Peace. Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.